information from the legal authorities or from any intelligence community is still broadcasted on the radio Mr. Chair.
That's why we invited you because of our interaction, and that's why we would like to inquire
To besmirch my or to destroy my reputation, my dignity, and my personality, even in those of my family.
Para ma-improve talaga yung aming
a pleasant good morning to my fellow honorables and our guests this morning, members of media. Our 29th regular session is now called to order. Please stand for a short prayer and be followed by the national anthem.
Let us all pray in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father in heaven, on this day we ask for your special blessing and a day filled with hope, joy, and optimism. We are gathered here today to serve you and the needs of our constituents. Please give us knowledge and strength to do your will. You have entrusted us of a great responsibility. Help us to share ideas, keep us kind and courteous to one another. Give us insight to the work at hand that we may further your causes and will benefit many people. Help us to support one another for the common good of our town, to consider decisions which keep us moving forward. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Regas ang silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib ay buhay. Lumang hinirang, tuyang ka ng pag-ibig, sa manunubig, di ka pasisingin, sa dagat at puno, sa simay at sa langit mo mga, may dinatang tunang at hawig sa paglayang binabangon. Ang pisang ng wahan, mo'y tanong ay narating. Ang bituin at naramdaman ay nagkamay na mag-ibig. Walang araw, walang ibang sila, ay langit sa piling mo. Ang hinaya ng pangay ng langit, ang pagkasabi ng langit sa'yo.
Madam Secretary, kindly do the roll call.
Okay, good morning. We are now on our 29th regular session. The honorable members of the Sangguniang Bayan of Malay, Honorable Abram L. Sualog,
Present.
SB Member Natalie Kawaling Paderes, SB Member Jupiter L. Reggie Galinero, SB Member Frolibar S. Bautista, SB Member Lloyd B. Maming, SB Member Dalidigway Sumdad, SB Member Maylin Aguirre Graf, SB Member Danilo G. De Los Santos, SB Member Dante C. Pagsugiron, and SB Member Julieta E. Aron. Mr. Chairman, 6 are present, 3 are absent, and Honorable Aron is on official business.
Okay, so the chair would like to declare a quorum. Let's proceed to the adoption of the minutes of previous session. Honorable Galinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to each and everyone. Good morning to our guest. Mr. Chair, I move to dispense the reading of the minutes of the previous session.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Galinero for to dispense the reading of previous minutes, seconded by Honorable Lloyd Maming. So the reading of our previous minutes is hereby dispensed. So let's review. Any correction or amendments on page 1? Page 2, Honorable Galinero.
Mr. Chair, page 3.
Page 3, what
on
line?
line 129,
129. Proceed.
in which we have to divide. I think this is not my word, Mr. Chair. It has to divide because it refers to the proclamation 4670, Mr. Chair. So it has to divide, which it has to divide.
Okay, noted.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable Pagsagiron,
can we go back to page 2, Mr. Chair?
proceed.
Line 114. One of the requirements here is meeting. I would like to omit these words meeting and change to complying of the minimum number. Complying.
Okay, noted. Before we-
And on page 3, Mr. Chair, line 182, aklan ay parang, I'd like to omit this, the word in, and add the word after general, general in nature, Mr. Chair. General in nature.
Okay, noted. Before we proceed, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable De Los Santos. Let's proceed on page 4. Page 5. Six. Seven. 8. 9. Page 10. Page 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. Page 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48, 49, page 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, and finally page 80. Honorable Pagsugiron.
Mr. Chair, I think the previous minutes is already was properly reviewed. So I move for its approval and adoption, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion on the part of Honorable Pagsugiron for the adoption of our previous minutes, seconded by Honorable Galinero. So the said review of our previous minutes is hereby adopted with correction on page 2, line 114, page 3, line 129, and line 182. Let's proceed to the privilege hour. Honorable Pagsugiron is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to our invited guests and, of course, to the members of the august body. Mr. Chair, I'd like only to inquire because I've noticed that one of our colleagues here and the one of the member of the august body is I have noticed that for how many regular sessions he was not able to attend the regular session. So, and based on our internal rules and procedures, there's requirements that 3 consecutive absences is required for a disciplinary action. So, may I know what is the reason behind of the absences? Because I've noticed that's not only 3, not only 4, but more than 5 regular sessions that he was not able to attend the regular session, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Pagsugiron, are you referring to?
I'm referring to Honorable Dato Sumdad.
Okay. Actually, he applied a sick leave for I think 3 previous session, and 2 weeks ago he also applied 3 months leave. So I don't know if because the 3 months leave actually it will be approved by the office of the mayor, and it will be forwarded to the provincial DALG. So he is now processing, I think, his formal leave of absence, while the other 3, I think they're just waiting for. He submitted medical certificate, but the HR required an official medical certificate. for the information
Mr.
of the
Chair,
body.
noted, no, but the reason why I raised this issue because we are also accountable for it, no, if we don't have any actions pertaining to that matters, Mr. Chair, no. Kasi pag hindi na wala tayong action doon, baka tayo naman somebody will complain to us kasi wala tayong ginawa, no. So that's why I want to know the reason behind of his absences, Mr. Chair. Anyway, after that explanation, so I'm now clarified, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Pasugiron. Is there any other privilege? Honorable Graf is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to my colleagues and guests on our session today. Mr. Chair, I'd like to inform the body that I attended the meeting in Buruanga last Friday regarding the Northwest Panay Peninsula Park called by the PAMB. I was the mayor asked me to attend on his behalf, so I was there. Normally, the people attending this is engineer. Our engineer Solano attended, I think, once or twice. We had no quorum, Mr. Chair, but based on the agenda, we discussed whatever we have to discuss that day, and we have an issue here that is really a big concern for all of us in Malay, because remember this project in Abaoy that was presented to us during that we raised during the time of when Secretary Simato was here. We asked his office about this, and during that meeting, the region and the provincial and all the DNR people were pointing fingers at each other, not as if not knowing about this project, when in fact this has already SLUP issued. And if I'm not mistaken, if SLUP is issued, that means ECC is also issued. It covers 24.9 hectare in Abaoy River, meaning our municipality, in the Northwest Panay Peninsula, which is a protected area and covered by NIPAS law. Anyway, this project is about 300 megawatts, Aklan Pump Storage Hydropower Project. Location is in Barangay Nabaoy. The objective of the project is very, very, very good. Number one is to participate in the national government's thrust to develop renewable energy potential like hydro, solar, wind, and biomass. To provide reliable electric power for grid stability. To contribute in increasing the country's power supply in order to meet the growing demand for electricity due to national progress and development. To contribute in the increasing the country's power supply, meaning this 300 megawatt project in Abaoy will be for the national progress and development. And the permit is granted already by AMD and issued by Department of the Environmental and Natural Resources as early as December 12. Meaning this, when I made my inquiry in the office of the MPDC, they had no information about this except about what Nabaoy knows. The office of the mayor have also no idea about this project. So meaning, as if this is done without transparency. And at the moment, as we all know, Barangay Nabaoy, we don't know exactly how much is the water being produced there by the rivers. But the information from our water provider is this project is already granted by the NWRB 70,000 cubic meter per day. Our requirement in Boracay is only 20 to 25 cubic meter per day. I do not know about Malay Water District, but all in all, it's about 95 cubic meter per day. Now, what is not presented or what we don't know, I mean, as we all know, no, during summer, the river is really drying up. And the project is located upstream, meaning taas sa tanan nga mga power provider na ton. And they will if I compare it to this similar project in Caliraya Lake, ginahakot na datanan ang tubi sa Laguna de Bay, ibutang sa man-made lake, naging build na da sa Caliraya. Diyan kami gawin surf ag nagakite. Tapos kung kinanggan ag may bawbaho nga ng tubo nga kung kinanglan da mag-produce it power, ginahugog na tanan ang tubi. So gamagagumanog to amon tubi sa Caliraya agto man sa Manila Bay na og imoglaran ang ano. So up and down, up and down. Now with the amount of water that was approved by NWRB with 70 cubic meter per day, what we don't know is how much cubic meter Nabaoy is producing. Is this enough for all of us, considering we have 3 water providers, and our farmers, which is the most important, our farms, and there is no information I can get on our municipality, but it's a project that will benefit the entire country, but I don't know how will it affect our tourism industry in the event that the water will be sold at a higher price, because the higher price or we will not have enough water anymore. So I don't know the stand of our LGU. Well, I don't know, but at least from the last administration, whoever knows about this should also come out and tell us exactly what's going on. And besides, we have to call the proponent to appear in this August body to explain to us so that all our questions will be answered and the project will become transparent to us, because it's not only our concern here, it's a concern of the entire municipality of Malay and the concern of tourism industry, Mr. Chair. So because of this, I'd like to propose that we will call the proponent, DNR, the barangay covered by this project, whoever has to be involved in this project. The proponent is Strategic Power Development Corporation, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, with Department of Energy, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Honorable Galinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No? Good morning to each and everyone. Actually, even we go back few months ago. No, that was also the statement of Honorable Graf. Anyway, to make it more clearer, Mr. Chair, as of this time, we don't know what happened. Ano ba nang nangyayari? But it was mentioned by Honorable Graf that during the last administration, maybe somebody knows
Yeah.
and then they should come out. I am part of the previous administration, Mr. Chair, as an incumbent councillor of this municipality. As far as we are concerned, Mr. Chair, there were no presentation, there were no letter from anybody that they will be having this kind of project in Barangay Nabaoy, Mr. Chair. So if there was, Mr. Chair, I hope that it will pass through this August body, Mr. Chair. So I would like to say to our colleague, Honorable Graf, that during the past administration, the administration of the former Mayor Jan Yap, I was a councilor that time, Mr. Chair, wala pang nag-submit or wala pa ring proposed to have that project in this municipality, Mr. Chair. So that's why maybe until now they don't have any papers na makita natin. It's because wala pang application or any proposal from that company addressed to this municipality, Mr. Chair. Thank you,
I'd like
Mr.
to add
Chair.
here.
Okay, Honorable
Mr.
Graf.
Chair, during the meeting in Buruanga, it was presided by the Mayor of Libertad. So they were all informed about it. We have no idea about it. And then I called up Sb Rowen Aguirre, the Rules and Ordinances chair during that time. And he said, I cannot remember that there was ever a letter that that was addressed to the to the SB about this project. And then he told me to check with Miss Connie, our SB secretary, if she received any information. So I called up SB Connie, and she said, I cannot remember, and I have no document ever seen in this office with regards to this project. So I'm here, Mr. Chair, I'm talking about transparency of our proponent here. The project is in our municipality, except the only person who knows or who's been brought to the other projects about is the Barangay Nabaoy. So Barangay Nabaoy believed that the project will bring benefit will benefit Nabaoy. Yes, because there will be a sharing, 1% of the total gross. Because Mr. Chair, during the July 21, 2007, the Northwest Panay Peninsula Natural Park called a meeting, a special meeting held in Marson. Engineer Solano was not able to attend because they did the presentation there in Calibo on July 21. So two of our barangay chair were in attendance. Engineer Kapitan Ruben and of Napaan, and Kapitan Panoy of Nabaoy. And they did the presentation that the national government will get from the gross income from the sale of electricity generated of 1%, the national government, and then 60% will stay with the national government, 40% will go to the local government. Of the 40% that will go to the local government, meaning Malay, of course there will be a big benefit. Our question here is, how will it affect our water source, which is providing water to our tourism industry, Boracay, no, that is at the moment making 48.9 billion pesos to the national coffer also. So the question is, I really would like to, I have names here already of the proponents, and I think we have to request, because it's everything, kumbaga may aso sa palibot na ton eh. So soon there will be fire and we don't know. So while there is aso, let's call them already. That's also what we discussed during the meeting of the Northeast Panay Peninsula, that we should request already the proponent of this project to shed light on the matter, because all of them were also shocked that we did not endorse, because according to the DNR presentation, 5 municipalities member of the Panay Peninsula endorsed the project, Number 1 is Libertad, Buruanga, Malay, Nabas, and I don't know what the other one, but there's a 5th one. And all 5 endorsed. That's the reason I called our SB Rowan to check if we really endorsed. And he said no. And then later, we received information from Nabas that they did not endorse because they have nothing to do with it. It's not even in their municipality. So-
Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
Can I ask the lady from Motag, no? Because you mentioned earlier that there was already a permit issued by DNR. When was the permit issued, Mr. Chair?
December 12, 2016, there's permit number 63 SLUP 002 0731219 AMD.
So with that issuance of permit, Mr. Chair, I think we have to question the permit, no? And we must know from DNR if the endorsement of any municipalities regarding this project is needed. No. So if endorsement is not needed, we can do it. But if endorsement is meaning imperative for the issuance of that permit, so they have to seek our endorsement first before they issue the permit. So I think it's wrong information that given to us that mentioned earlier that there was already 5 municipalities in this project, but actually there was none. Even Nabas has hands off on that endorsement because they are affected with the project. But they are a member of the Panay Peninsula, Northwest Panay Peninsula. So I think we have to invite the DNR people, Mr. Chair, for regarding this matter. So we cannot blame the proponent. So it should be the DNR. No, that's why they issued permit without endorsement from this August body.
Okay.
And how about, Mr. Chair, if the barangay concerned have already an endorsement with that project, do they have, Mr. Chair?
They have an endorsement. The
Do we have a
the
copy?
barangay concerned
So we have to get a copy
issued
of
an
the endorsement, Mr. Chair.
Unfortunately, the area covered 24.9 is a protected area.
So that's why we get actual endorsement from the barangay concerned. When the endorsement was issued to the DNR, that's supporting that project, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay, may I ask the Honorable Grab, under what bureau the permit was granted?
AMD.
EMB. So, on that note, we will invite AMB, no? Environmental Management Bureau.
Bukod nga ni, AMD. I don't know what this is.
Because
AMD.
there are several bureau under DNR, so we have to be specific.
Actually, the person present during the who made the presentation of the result of their because they checked the area. It was Johnny,
Okay.
Johnny that always comes. Yeah.
Okay, under Penro, no?
Yeah, he
Penro,
was
okay.
here, and but if we have to call DNR, we have to call also the water provider, because I'm sure they did their own study on how will it affect the water supply.
Okay.
Because it's business for them to provide us, but and now they are apprehensive of the result of this project. That's why we really have to make sure that our water supply in Boracay will be protected,
Well-
and our farmers will also be protected. That's our end goal here,
Okay.
and protect also the environment.
Honorable Pagsugiron.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, the hydropower project introduced by the Department of Energy is somewhat good to our municipality, Mr. Chair. But our apprehension here is there are some sectors who will be affected of this, no? Especially our, as mentioned by Honorable Grab, is our farmers. And of course, we don't know exactly if the water from the Nabayo River is sufficient enough, no, to supply water from to Boracay and in the mainland, Mr. Chair. So in this case, I agree with the proposal of Honorable Grab to invite the people from the DNR, but also we include, of course, Barangay Nabaoy and the BIWC and Boracay Water and Boracay Tubi and yeah, the Malay Water District and the representative from the Farmers Association, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. I think for this time, Mr. Chair, we still have a very raw information with regards to that project. Considering, Mr. Chair, that if this project will push through on that area, Mr. Chair, I think the first to be affected is the water supplier, no, in Boracay, which are the Boracay Island Water Company, the Boracay Tubi System, and of course the Malay Water District. So I would like to ask Honorable Graf if there's any letter or any resolution from those companies opposing that project in Barangay Nabaoy.
Honorable Graf.
I've been talking to Boracay Tubi and BWC, no. They are very much worried, but as you know, these are giants talking. Boracay Tubi is owned by Lusutan. Boracay Island Water Company is owned by Ayala. And the Strategic Power Development Corporation is owned by San Miguel. Now, I think they have their own lawyers working on it already. I mean, like getting information. They're doing the research, and because as of now, the Panay Peninsula is covered by NIPA's law, and the NIPA's law, if there is ever normally the renewable energy is allowed, including energy, meaning electricity, but not more than 3 megawatt. Now we're talking about 300 megawatt. So they have to go to the Congress, and from the information of the DNR, they already filed, the San Miguel have already filed in the Congress to sort of maybe amend or things like that, because it also involves the 7 more
Okay.
in the area. So that's the information I have.
Okay. Honorable Gallinero.
Anyway, Mr. Chair, no, which is which? Because what is the proponent name? Strategic Power Development, that is under the San Miguel Corporation, subsidiary of San Miguel Corporation. Actually, Mr. Chair, if you could see it, I think which come first, a permit from this municipality or a permit from the national government, like the DENR? Because as of this time, we are saying that maybe we were affected by the water, the shortage of the water, Mr. Chair. But I think those who can explain to us is yung mga experts, no? Experts. So I respect the privilege of Honorable Graf, but we have to see to it that we should be balanced, Mr. Chair. But I agree that we have to call the attention of the DNR and the barangay so that they can explain to us, no? Explain to us if what really is the project. But because until now, yun nga, hanging tayo because there were no proposal or any letter from that company asking for our endorsement or just for a dialogue with regards to their project, Mr. Chair. So parang because of our, kumbaga, medyo iyakaton do project eh. And of course, medyo na ano kita dahil baka mapiktuhan kita. So maybe ang patawag na nato ng DNR so that they will explain to us if really that they have this permit already from the DNR, why they allow to have this permit, or sino ba mauna from this August body or to the DNR.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Honorable Bautista.
So I said earlier that we will invite the DNR to shed light on this issue, Mr. Chair. No? And at the same time, if the possibility of inviting also the National Water Board, no, in WRB, no, since they regulate the water supplies, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So I think to shed light on this issue, we have to invite those agencies that who are really have the one who issued the permits, and what are the other agencies that regulates the water. So it should be the NWRB and the DNR or the EMB, what bureau
AMB. I don't know the meaning of this AMB.
So I think we can inquire from the inner people what is that what bureau is that the AMB that issued that permit to the chair in order to finish now the discussion with the chair.
Okay, on that note, please take note, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Chair,
We will-
I insist on inviting also the water
No,
provider.
I will identify all the
Okay.
people who will be invited. So we will invite first the DNR and identify in what under what bureau does the permit that was granted to the proponent, and also the National Water Board, NWRB,
Oh, NWRB.
and the three water suppliers, BIWC, Boracay Island Water Company, and Boracay Tubi, and the Malay Water District, and the two barangay captain who also granted a barangay certificate, and who else? The Farmers Association also will be invited. Okay, so please take note of that, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Chair, we
Honorable
include also
Bautista.
the barangay chairman of Botag, since the river passes through the barangay. The barangay Gobaysor also, Chair.
Okay, so we will include the Barangay Napaan, Barangay
And,
Mutag,
Gobaysor.
and Barangay
Gobaysor.
Cobaysor.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable
the
Gap.
members of the Northwest Panay Peninsula are two barangays only from our municipality, the Napaan and the Nabaoy.
Yeah, but once there will be a dam there, so these barangays will be affected if there's an overflow of that dam in the future. But Chair, it's very dangerous.
and
The
also
barangay Cobaysor, and since the river is passing to the two barangays.
Okay, anyway,
Okay,
we
okay.
will invite.
And please,
two
Mr.
additional-
Chair, also the Association of the Irrigators Association, Farmers Association, because they have-
farmers and irrigators, I think, are just the same, or they have
Farmers and
separate
irrigators.
association. I don't think there's
there's
only one.
one.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay.
Because I think from my knowledge, somebody is preparing a petition for them to from the NIA, because the National Irrigation Administration will have to be the one to protect our farmers if something goes wrong.
So we might as well invite NIA also, the National Irrigation Administration. Okay? Is there any other privilege, Honorable
This is
Bautista?
about the scheduled public hearing on the proposed revised property tax ordinance of provincial government of Aklan, Mr. Chair, scheduled on for municipality of Malay, scheduled on September 7.
Okay, proceed.
The first public hearing, Mr. Chair, is scheduled on September 5, composed of 12 municipalities, no, which will be the Viñues and Calibo. And the second public hearing will be on September 7, composed of 5 municipalities, which includes our municipality of Malay. And if you see the
Check.
the proposed property tax ordinance, Mr. Chair, was received in our office on September 25th this month. And this first time I read the content of this ordinance. If we see, Mr. Chair, based on the market values schedules as presented there in these documents, Malay is the highest value, no, market values on residential lands. On commercial lands, Malay also is was the highest market value. I was surprised here, Mr. Chair, since if we talk about Malay, it includes the mainland and Boracay. So meaning Boracay and the mainland, the same market values. So if you compute based on their schedule, Mr. Chair, if on the residential lands of Malaya, including Boracay, the same rates or value, Malay has 4,950 pesos per square meters market value on residential lands. If you will multiply that for 1 hectare, that's 10,000 square meters, it values 49,500,000. If we get a 20% level of assessment, Mr. Chair, so we will get 99 million. 9,900,000. That's the 20% level of the assessment for the, let's say, for the residentials. And then you multiply that for 1% for property tax, that's 99,000 pesos. And 1% for the Special Educational Fund, SEF, another 99,000. So based on my computation, you will be paying 198,000 pesos per hectare of your residential lot. So, Chair, it's very big. So who among here in the mainland can afford to pay 198,000 for your 1 hectare property here? And if you will base also the computation for the commercial land, Malay has 11,460,000 pesos per square meter. If you have 1 hectare property, commercial lot, so that's 10,000 square meters. You multiply 11,460,000 to 10,000 square meters, so that is 114,600,000 market value of your property, and then you get the assessment level of 50%. So you have 57,300,000 pesos times 0.01% was the basis for computation for the property tax. So that's 573,000. And another 1% of Special Educational Fund, SEF, another 573,000. So you will be paying 1,146,000, Mr. Chair. So I think you cannot compare mainland and Boracay. The same value, market value. I think this should be properly studied by Mr. Chair. And that's why I am the past resolution to the request ni Sangguniang Palawigan to have to set a schedule exclusively for Malay, because the venue for the public hearing of these 5 municipalities will be in Nabas. And so many taxpayers, especially in the island of Boracay, Mr. Chair, that will be given a chance and have the right also to air their sides on this, Mr. Chair. The right to hear and to be heard. So that's why I am moved to pass a resolution requesting the Sangguniang Palawigan to set another schedule exclusively for Malay, Mr. Chair. So that, at the same time, we have to discuss if we include Malay, because as I know before, mainland and Boracay has the same, not the same market value, Mr. Chair. So this should be properly studied or reviewed.
Okay. So there's a motion from Honorable Bautista for passing a resolution regarding or asking the.
Mr. Chair.
Is that point of order or?
As a point of order, Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair,
Honorable.
for the information of the body. Actually, I think this tax ordinance by the province of Baclan, they tried to implement this sometimes last 2015 or 14, no? But with the strong sa pag-oppose, it implementation of this tax ordinance, it was not properly implemented, Mr. Chair. So this time, I think they are going to implement this tax ordinance through the August body of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. That's why they scheduled public hearing. No? I think there were two areas for the public hearing. Like for example, dito sa atin, it will be on September 7, no? But it is located, or the venue is in Nabas, Aklan, no? Since that September 7 is fast approaching, Mr. Chair, I go with the statement of Honorable Bautista that we should have a special, shall we say, a special public hearing sa Banwait Malay. But I would like to encourage first, no, kasi hindi pa naman na-approve, that all the stakeholders in the municipality of Malay, particularly in the island of Boracay, should attend on September 7 dahil nga wapato nga resolution. But if before September 7, if our resolution be approved, that's the time that we will inform our constituents in Malay that we have another set of public hearing intended for Malay only.
Mr.
Thank
Chair,
you.
I think
Honorable
we
Bautista.
have to pass now the resolution. So today is August 29, so we have still time. We will approve this urgently, the resolution, so that we have to send resolution immediately tomorrow, because we have only how many days left. So once the public hearing will be approved, so what's the use now of the resolution?
Oh, Mr. Chair,
Honorable Gallinero.
that is a motion, Honorable Bautista.
Yes, that's my motion, Mr. Chair, to
So
pass a
if-
resolution, to make a schedule exclusively for the municipality of Malay, Mr. Chair, especially in Boracay, Mr. Chair, and they're given the chance to discuss this matter and to give us what is really the purpose. Is Malay is the whole, when we talk about Malay, includes Boracay, or is it separate?
It includes because it's
But
still in our
we cannot
municipality.
compare the mainland cost of the property as nandun ni Boracay.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Gallinero.
Okay, Mr. Chair, if that is the motion of Honorable Bautista, due to the urgency of this resolution and to the benefits of our constituents in the municipality of Malay, Mr. Chair, I second the motion of Honorable Bautista, Mr. Chair.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
As stated, so the said motion is immediately approved. Okay. Any? we have
actually,
more guests.
Mr. Chair, no, I have the
yes.
same observations with Honorable Bautista. We don't want that our constituents will blame us later, no. So that's why, because as I peruse the different schedules here, Malay is somewhat unexceptional, no. Napakataas talaga, Mr. Chair, no. And even myself, hindi ako convinced dito, and of course, imagine more than 400% ang in-increase, no, sa current market value,
okay.
Mr. Chair.
Anyway, we will Honorable. Okay. Okay. Anyway, we approve already the resolution, so we'll just wait for a separate schedule to discuss that matter. If there are no other privilege, so we will move to the question hour.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. I move to suspend the minutes of to suspend our rules, Mr. Chair, in order to interact with our guest, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Gallinero to suspend our rules, seconded by Honorable Lloyd. So our rules is hereby suspended. Madam Secretary, kindly acknowledge our invited guest.
Mr. Chairman, we have invited the representative from the director from Modelio Global Solutions Corporation, Mr. Peter Montalban, the BL Team PC Board of Directors, our E-Trike focal person, Mr. Ruin Aguirre, and Mr. Cesar P. Oxon Jr., our Senior Transportation Regulation Officer. With regard to the application for accreditation of Modelio Global Solutions as E-Trike supplier in the municipality of Malay.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. This morning we have our former colleague, Mr. Rowan Aguirre. Our former colleague also is a former ex officio member of Sangguniang Bayan, former barangay captain of Manok-Manok, and now the chairman of LTMPC, Mr. Joel Hilito. And the proponent or the applicant of the A-Trike, lead by Mr. Peter Montalban. Good morning, sir. So, you were invited by virtue, because I was not around last session, but according to the information, you were invited in Leo of the application of your accreditation with the Sangguniang Bayan of Malay, and there were some queries. We'll find out later, no, during the questioning. So, Honorable Pagsugiron, being the chairman of the cooperative, you may start your.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, the reason for the invitations of the Modelo Global Solutions Corporations is with regards to their applications for accreditations, Mr. Chair. But aside from that, because we got a copy of this 10 units, 8 trikes, no? Started 8 trikes now operating in the island of Boracay, and we are surprised why the Honorable Mayor issued the special permit despite of the non-compliance of the requirements, Mr. Chair, no? So that's also part of our agenda, Mr. Chair. But we invite also the presence of the members of the cooperative, LTMPC, because the purpose is that they will be the one to represent the tricycle operators, no? Once we implement now for the distributions of the, or once we accredit the applications of Modelo Global Solutions, dahil nga, Mr. Chair, importante kasi dito yung acceptance, no, ng operators sa fleet management ng Modelo Global Solutions, Mr. Chair. That is also one of the reason before my committee recommends for the accreditations na everything is clear with regards to the fleet management or ecosystems introduced by the Modelo Global Solutions, Mr. Chair, no? But first, I'd like to ask this with regards to the 10 units e-trike issued a special permit by the Honorable Mayor, Mr. Chair. We have here our focal persons. I don't know if he can answer this, or our transportation office, and we have also the names of 10 franchise holder, Mr. Chair. I don't know if they have existing franchise in the municipality, Mr. Chair.
Okay, proceed.
So, actually, Mr. Chair, for the records, no, this was also raised by Honorable Galinero during our previous sessions with regards to the special permit granted by the Office of the Mayor to the 10 franchise holder, no? So I think the Honorable Galinero can highlights this matter, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Galinero is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No, so can I the Modelo representative is already here, Mr. Chair, and also the BLTMPC represented by the chairman. So maybe we can ask question with regards to this matter, Mr. Chair, directly to our guest, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed, Honorable Galinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Sir Peter, no, and the company, and also sa Tay Joel, no, and the group of the BLTMPC. We were wondering why, no, because we have received reports that there were e-trikes already operating in the island of Boracay, which was not endorsed by this August body, and that is the Modelo ano nga yung company? Global Solutions. And it reached to our attention. That's why we called your attention for the past months, no? Yung nag-attend kayo, sir, no? And then dito nagpaliwanag kayo. And what we ask is again to just follow the requirements on how to transport or to operate e-trikes in this municipality. And again, we called your attention, and you send us here your attorney, in the person of Attorney Forlan, the girl one. And she promised to us that the company will abide all the rules and regulation implemented by this municipality. So, what we need here, Mr. Peter, is just a little bit respect with regards to that manner, Mr. Chair. Because, again, we get a copy of a permit, shall we say a permit to transport, or a permit to the e-trikes that it should be brought to the island of Boracay, 10 units, no? So, are you considering this August body as part of the government here in Aklan, Mr. Peter? In this municipality, in Malay?
You may answer, Mr. Montalban.
Good morning, Honorable Vice Mayor, and of course the members of this August body. I do not know if you if you can consider these seats as a hot seat because it's very cold in here. Well, before I reply to that, I'd like also to inform the body that I have with me Mr. Franklin Lopez, who is part of the company, our Chief Operating Officer. With regards to the question, I indeed, our lawyer promised the Sangguniang Bayan to comply with whatever requirements of the LGU, and for that reason, Mr. Chair, and all the members of this body, that we have submitted our application for accreditation to the LGU in the office of Honorable Dante Pagsugiron, and because that is our intention to comply. You have to understand that our role here is just a supplier, you know, insofar as the operation of the e-track is concerned. That is beyond us. But because we also understand that being a supplier, it is your requirement to that we need to be accredited. That's the reason why we are here, because we have this pending application.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I like to read.
Honorable Galinero. Are you?
This
okay.
with regards to this
Honorable
for the
Pagsugiron.
information of Sir Peter, no. We have there resolutions number 074, series of 2014. Even this resolution was introduced by Honorable Frolibar Bautista. No, I will read only the title, Mr. Chair. Resolution requiring all electric tricycle e-trike, no? Manufacturers, suppliers to accredit with the municipality of Malay before presenting and introducing their units to the public, whether for private use or for the purpose of utilizing it as a public utility transport, no? So that's why by allowing 10 units of Star e-trike to operate in Boracay without complying these requirements is also a violations, no, Sir Peter. But of course, we raised this issue only because you know, the mayor issued the special permit, no. We're not blaming you about this, no. But of course, as you mentioned earlier, all the documents you supplied to the Sangguniang Bayan is with me, no. So that's why the purpose of these invitations is with regards to your application for accreditations.
Mr. Chair,
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
does Mr. Peter has a copy of this resolution? Mr. Peter, do you have a copy of this resolution?
Which one are you referring?
The one read by gentleman from Monokmano.
I don't have a copy here right now, but I have read the
Before you
resolution.
didn't have.
I have read the resolution.
You have a copy of that?
Yeah.
So, meaning you know this resolution?
That's the reason why we are here, because
I mean,
we are applying.
before you bring your units in Boracay, do you have your copy of this resolution?
Well, before the meeting that we had, the first meeting that we had, I was not aware of the resolution.
No, I am asking if you have a copy of the resolution.
Oh, now, are you referring now or
Before I said, before you bring your units in Boracay, do you have a copy of the resolution or no?
That's
No.
the reason why I answered that before the first meeting which I attended.
So when
I
was
do not
the
have
first meeting with the chair?
copy.
3 months ago. 3 months ago. 4 months ago. About 4 months ago pa siguro. 3 months or 4 months ago. The first appearance of Mr. Montalban, I think that was 4 months ago.
So, Mr. Chair, is the appearance of Mr. Montalban, is he was invited or because he wants to present
Was invited.
the units here in this plenary? Was invited? So meaning you invited them because he presented to present the other units the plenary for accreditation or just a presentation?
Mr.
As
Chair.
far as I can recall, he volunteered, I think, to attend in order for them to have their presentation on their proposed e-trike.
So that was
Is
before.
that correct?
Yeah, that is
Am I
correct.
correct?
That is correct, Mr.
So,
Chair.
Mr. Chair, before his appearance here, so do we have now the before the resolution, before the appearance, or the resolution was after his appearance?
Before.
Before his appearance, we have already this resolution.
Yeah, because our resolution, this is 2014.
Yeah. So meaning he knows this, and this was discussed to him before
Yes.
when he presented the e-trike and it's of course it's units and then the how it operates, no, the chair. So, I mean, did he know this resolution? So my question, Mr. Chair, is why is it that Mr. Peter, in spite of this resolution existing, that it needs accreditation first before you bring the units in Boracay, why do you still bring it in Boracay since there's no accreditation yet from this body, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, can I respond to that?
Okay, go ahead. Proceed, Mr. Montalban.
The first time that I attended the session, it was for the purpose of presentation, and I think if you revisit the minutes, I think there was moments there that you advised me to comply with the accreditation process. That's the first time that I have learned that there is such a resolution. That's the reason why, also, Mr. Chair, that after that, we submitted our documents for accreditation in compliance with the requirements.
So, Mr. Chair, meaning
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
when you are complying, the units is not yet entered in Boracay. It's not yet transported. Or you have already the units in Boracay before you
The units are in Boracay.
already.
Yeah.
before you become compliant. So how many units was been transported? Or Mr. Chair, before that, before I answered, can I ask who issued the permit to transport? Mr. Chair?
Well, according to the copy which was forwarded to me, this is not even permit to transport. This is special permit. Special permit, and this was addressed to Mr. Joel Hilito, General Manager, Build Team PC. And if I may read the first paragraph. Special permit is hereby granted to the Boracay Land Transport Multipurpose Cooperative for the first batch grantee for solar electric e-trikes indicated here with are the corresponding franchise confirmation for each unit. But below the names of the supposed franchise holder, this special permit is subject to the strict compliance of the existing resolutions related to the operation of e-trikes in Boracay Island. There's two resolutions that were mentioned here. First is the resolution number 097 series of 2011, resolution expressing commitment to Asian Development Bank and Department of Energy to change the mode of transportation in Boracay Island from motorized tricycle to e-trike technology. And number two, resolution number 071 series of 2012, a resolution suspending the change of unit privilege of franchise tricycle in Boracay Island to give way to the implementation to e-trike program of the municipality of Malay. Granted this 8th day of August 2017 at Malay, Aklan. Ciceron is Kawaling Municipal Mayor signed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So can I ask the transportation officer, Mr. Okson, if he knows this special permit?
Good morning. As far as the permit is concerned, my office has no idea with this permit.
So it's only the office of the mayor, Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
sir.
And the special permit is addressed to, given to the BLTPC, not to the supplier. Of the units. So how many units have been stated on that letter, Mr. Chair, that special permit?
10 units.
10 units. Okay. Can I ask? I will ask Mr. Peter if after the 10 units, is there any other units been transported to Boracay, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Montalban, you may answer the question.
We have an additional of 8.
So meaning, since we question you for the transporting of 10 units in Boracay, and that's why we come here because we want to comply the regulations, and now you added another units. So meaning you know already that there's already you need accreditation before you transport another units. Since 10 units already questioned, but in spite of that, you still continue the transporting in the units in Boracay Island, Mr. Chair. So what can you explain to us, Mr. Chair, why is they really insist and push through the bringing in the units in Boracay in spite of the requirement of our resolution? Or
Before we ask Mr. Montalban to answer, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Natalie Baderes. Proceed, Mr. Montalban. You may answer the question.
What we have in mind is Modelo is only a supplier. We do not operate the trike. Okay. Now, I believe that the operation of the trike needs to comply with the resolution, with the Sangguniang local resolution. Supplier per se, indeed there is a requirement for accreditation. Okay. That is the reason, Mr. Chair, that while we have the units in Boracay, in preparation for the operation, as far as Modelo is concerned, we also have an application with a local with a local government for accreditation. That once our application be approved, then the units will be ready for operation.
No, Mr. Chair, I'm not talking operation. Because it's very clear, as read by gentleman from Manok. Even you are a supplier, but it's very clear in the resolution, di ba?
It's stated.
Before presenting and introducing their units to the public, whether for private use or for purpose of utilizing it as public utility transport. So, as a supplier, so before mo i-ano dyan, kailangan meron mo ng accreditation, di ba? Very clear eh. So, I think, Mr. Chair, it's, the Executive Director is raising his hand. I think can explain more. Galing ko sa, you were the one who started this e-trike program, Mr. Chair.
Before Mr. Aguirre, I would like to Honorable Gallinero, I would like to inform the body and also our guest that I would like to clarify the question also, in addition to the question of Honorable Bautista. The problem is to transport any vehicle or any e-trike, you should first secure a permit to transport. That's from the office of the mayor, of course with coordination with the office of the transportation. That should be the protocol. Don't bring in any vehicle without permit to transport. That's why we call it permit to transport, because you are authorized to transport any vehicle from the mainland going to Boracay. So that was the first violation. Second one is that by giving a special permit from the office of the mayor, it's another violation, because only MTFRB can issue a permit to operate. But the office of the mayor is also granting a municipal or mayor's permit. No, but the franchise, it will be regulated by the MTFRB or Municipal Land Transport Franchising and Regulatory Board. So that would be we have to clarify that matter. So first, any intent to bring in vehicle, you should secure a permit to transport with the office of the mayor. But you have to secure also a barangay clearance for that particular barangay, and you have to pass through the municipal transportation office. Okay, and with regards to the operation, that's within the authority of the MTFRB. Okay, thank you, Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir, who is your partner or business partner in what you're saying, operation ng e-trike ninyo, sir?
Yeah. Before I answer that, Mr. Chair, I'd like to also clarify, that Modelo did not. Well, Modelo do not have any intention whatsoever to disrespect or violate the local government of Malay, because ever since Malay has been our partner. I'd like to clarify the point that Modelo did not transport the unit to Boracay. We did not. That's why Modelo did not apply for the transport of the unit.
Okay.
What we did is just,
Mr. Chair,
Okay.
if I may, Mr. Chair,
Okay.
I think Mr. Peter is somewhat like hindi na tayo mag-divert, hindi na tayo magtago. Kasi una-una pa lang.
because there's that point by
because it was stated here in the resolution. Manufacturers, suppliers, you have to be accredited first before you're doing business in this municipality.
I understand that.
Okay, so that's one, sir. So yung sinasabi mo na yung modelo, walang hindi totoo yan kasi nag-violate na kayo eh. Actually, we call your attention because we knew that there was operating an e-trike in the island of Boracay na hindi dumaan dito sa ng accreditation. So that's why pumunta kayo, and then you send us again for the second time your attorney, and then the attorney promised to us, yes sir, ayusin po namin lahat. Ma'am, wag muna kayong mag-transport wag mo na kayong magdala ng e-trike kasi wala pa kayong accreditation. Ayusin niyo muna lahat ng papeles niyo, tutulungan po namin kayo. And then, it came out, mayroon na namang 10 dinala doon, sir. So that's why we called your attention today. Now, what we want here, Sir Peter, ano ba talaga, di ba? Kayo, supplier. Ano yung operation? BLTMPC o Star 8?
The operation, for the information of the body, is BLTMPC. That's why, let me clarify that. Because
No.
Mr.
Sandali lang,
Chair,
sir. Kasi ako yung nagtatanong eh.
Yeah.
So do you have any memorandum of understanding with BLTMPC that they will be the one operating your e-trike in the island of Boracay?
Yes, we do.
So can you submit that to this August body so that we know that you have a memorandum of understanding with BLTMPC?
We will consult our lawyer for that, on that matter, Mr. Chair.
No, because when you are
There
asking
might be some
accreditation,
non-disclosure agreement.
no, when you are asking accreditation for this August body, sir, we have to require
Yeah,
you
that
to
is
have
the
a
reason why.
memorandum
I'm
of
not saying
understanding.
no. I'm not saying no. I am
Okay,
saying
so
that
that's
I
yun
will
lang naman,
consult.
sir eh. If it is operated by BLTMPC, wala kaming problema doon eh. What we need ay tao din kami dito, pumunta yung abogado yun, nagpromisa sa amin, sige sir, ayusin namin lahat yan. Sabi namin, sige, tulungan namin kayo para mapamadali yan. Kasi alam namin na yung e-trike nyo is very reliable. Ay,
Thank you.
eh ngayon, mayroon na namang 10 without ano dito sa August body. So, yun lang yung inaano namin, sir eh. If you don't respect this August body, you should remember that issuing an franchise is from this August body.
Correct. We understand.
So, yun lang naman po, sir. Hindi kami nagmamarunong dito. Yung sa amin, respeto lang. Kunti lang ba? Sir, ito na po kami. Yun lang naman yung hiningi namin, sir. Hindi yung alam na lang namin, meron na naman. You know, what is the feeling of the other suppliers? Sila dumaan sa butas ng karayom. Iniimbestigahan namin planta nila sa Manila just to consider kung maayos o hindi. Dinala yung BLTMPC, dinala yung local official, sinakay sila sa e-trike doon. Yung sa inyo, papasok nyo lang dito and then tapos na. Hindi naman tama yun, sir. Yun lang naman hiningi namin, sir. Gusto nga naming marami para may competition ba? Pagandahan. Yun lang naman, hindi namin kayo sinasabing hindi namin kayo papasukin. Yung sa amin naman, a little respect lang from this August body. Yan lang po, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable
in addition to Honorable Galinero, since he mentions about accreditations of other suppliers, so nandito, Mr. Chair, no, resolution number 083, resolution approving application for accreditation as e-trike supplier in the municipality of BMAC Electric Transportation Philippines Incorporated. Another resolution, resolution approving application for accreditations of PRUSA, Hiroshi Manufacturers Incorporated as a e-trike supplier in the municipality of Malay, also with Tudio Motors and Airways Motors, Mr. Chair. So all these 4 suppliers has acquired accreditation from the local government, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So I have seen Mr. Rowan Aguirre is raising his hands a while ago.
Mr. Chair, just to make
Proceed.
certain clarifications of certain points now. One of the reasons why we made sure that all the manufacturers and distributors who would like to introduce their product in Boracay is primarily to protect the interest of the operators who will buy into, to buy the units. Since the e-trike technology, it's a very new technology, so we have to make sure that they will be able to fully support the operations of the e-trikes that they will be selling in Boracay. In this case, Mr. Chair, I think unless the the distributor here or the supplier here will get an endorsement, they might have problems with getting an endorsement from this body, no? Since you will not be able to recognize them. And in the last meetings we had with the LTO actually wanted already to look into the franchises of the e-trikes present, but I asked them if they could put it off until late this year, no? Since we are in the process of giving franchises to the e-trike, because I think that was the last during the last meeting we had in MTFRB, we had we made a timeline, if I remember, no, if you recall, Mr. Chair, that we decided that we will, I think by this time, no, that we will start already giving out the Sangguniang Bayan will start awarding the franchises for those qualified, no, qualified to get one. So that means if they will persist on not getting an endorsement, and the time will come when the LTO will start, and even us, no? So when we start to look for the franchises, then they might have some problems, no? So I think it's better that they're informed now rather than later, no? That there might be some problems later on, Mr. Chair, no? Because they did not follow the procedures that we promulgated way back for the e-trike program, and which was followed, no, by the four earlier manufactured suppliers who have been supplying us with e-trike units. Those agreements, or rather those policies, were made to protect both, no, the operators who will buy the units and the suppliers themselves, no, because we have certain policies there to make sure that also the suppliers will also be protected, no. So, Mr. Chair, so I think they should be made aware of that, no, because later they might have some problems, because franchises regulation, and rather the franchises for e-trikes is with the Sangguniang Bayan. The mayor's permit or the business permit of the e-trike is with the mayor's office, but before you could get a business permit, you have to get a franchise. So the first thing is that you have to have a franchise if you want to operate. And as suppliers, they cannot wash their hands of things and just say that it is with the built-in PC, no. As suppliers, they're obligated to make sure that their units that they sell will continue to be viable, no, and sustainable, Mr. Chair. So just a reminder that there is a reason for those requirements. It's not something that is put there out of whimsy, Mr. Chair, but because of valid reasons at that time, no? And I think it is even valid until now, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Aguirre. By the way, I would like to state also with the Modelo Global Solution that we're not against. We don't want to deprive you in supplying your units. I have seen your units, and it's I would say we have four suppliers at the moment in Boracay, and we're as Mr. Aguirre mentioned that those three or four they are still under probation or under observation. There are one or two that are still it's hanging because they cannot maintain, the maintenance, the parts is still a problem. That's why we would like to welcome other suppliers to come in And we have seen your unit. It's a good quality, and with the solar panel on top, and with the new design, it's good. It's nice. So we would appreciate if your unit will be sustainable, and the maintenance is good. On the other hand, what we would like to appeal from your company, as what we had already did with your lawyer last session, that kindly refrain or stop bringing in units without your accreditation. So you have first to secure your accreditation with the Sangguniang Bayan, and then after that, if it's already approved, then you can, if you want to bring units in the island, then you can ask permit to transport with the office of the mayor, no? Para Mr. Montalban, why nagibla problema kay nasubong sa nakita naton may violation na ara ng violation, but we would like to help you para makorek na ng violation. So that's why we have appealed to your lawyer nga kung pwede i-submit nyo na tanan ng mga gina-require nga documents para ma-process na accreditation ninyo.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
O baka hindi nasabihan ni Attorney Jordan si Mr. Peter? Did your lawyer inform you what's he promised in this plenary? The Chair?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Chair, I want first I want a answer first from Mr. Peter.
You may answer, Mr. Montalban.
She discussed it with me, Mr. Chair. Again, I'd like to, there's only one thing that I'd like to clarify. We did not, Modelo again, did not transport the units to Boracay. I think we have our partners here who did the application for transferring the unit. No.
So who did then transport your the units?
I think the application was made by the BLTMPC.
Mr. Chair, before we give, thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir Peter, no, you attended our our session last May 23, 2017.
Okay.
And I will read to you the minutes and the statement of Honorable Pagsugiron. Some of it, I would like to note that there is a resolution sponsored by no other than Honorable Bautista. If I may read the title of the resolution, Resolution number 074, series of 2014, resolution requiring all electric tricycle e-trike manufacturers, suppliers to accredit with the Municipality of Malay before presenting and introducing their units to the public, whether for private use or for the purpose of utilizing it as a public utility transport. Meaning, there are requirements necessitated by the local government unit of Malay prior to the distribution of the e-trikes. And then, also here, nag-istorya kita daywa, ang hambal ko, I heard that you already have a unit operating in Boracay only for test drive. Is that correct? And you answered, actually, it's not operating, Mr. Chair. We are testing the unit to really check its performance. Naghambal ako, sir. Previously, we have required the Gearwise to have a test drive, and it takes us 3 years. Have you ever met the requirements before having a test drive of your units in Boracay? Mr. Montalban, sir, we are actually testing it now. And then I answered, we have requirements here in the Municipality of Malay before you can actually test your product in Boracay. And you answered, I am very sorry for that overlap. We will take note of it and we will comply whatever will be the requirements, sir. That's your statement. That's to us, May. So
And I stand by that statement, Mr. Chair, because after that session, we applied for accreditation. That's why our papers, our application for accreditation, as I mentioned before, is already in Honorable Pagsugiron.
When did you submit your application, Mr. Montalban? If we may heard from the Committee on Cooperative.
The application was received by the Secretariat on August 8, Mr. Chair.
You see, that was May, June, July, August. So, I don't know what, Mr. Chairman, kasi
Mr. Chair, actually,
Honorable
ito
Bautista.
nga as mentioned earlier by the chairman, the presiding officer, we want to have more, we invite more suppliers na so that we can have the perfect, the real one na talagang magagamit sa Boracay. But we have some requirements to be complied with. No? And there are some promises na nakalagay nga dyan sa minutes So, tama kanina sinabi din ni our colleague here na parang it seems that hindi sinusunod yung ating regulasyon. So, it's just only a matter of following the requirements na hindi na ayaw na magpaliko-liko ng istorya. Diretsuhan na lang. Kung nakamali, accept it. I was not able to comply it because of this reason. Hindi mo pag ganyan mag-usapan. Kung ganyan, not only for the unit, but ang purpose naman sa accreditation is kailangan yung financing scheme din na malaman natin yan, or else baka kawawa naman yung mga operator. So yun, not only for the units, but also on the financing side, na maproteksyonan naman natin yung mga operators. Kaya that's one way, not only on the units, but at the same time, the durability of the unit, but at the same time, yung sa financing side, na to protect the operators. Yun lang. Kung if you insist, gagawa ka lang ganyan, then without respect, you can pass a resolution denying the issuance of your franchise. Di ba, Mr. Chair? Ayaw rin natin mangyari yan. So, but we can do that.
Okay, Honorable Graf and then Honorable Galinero, and we will give the chance to Mr. Hilito later on after the two members of the council. So,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Graf.
I've been listening since the start of our topic on this solar e-trike technology. As what we all mentioned earlier is parang medyo gin-bypass baga masyado ang SB, and with the promises before of supposed to be complying to the requirements. Pero what I have not heard after all the deliberations is an apology to apologize kung medyo na bypass kami, because before maski ano atong hambagon, you will be subjected to our diba, sa our you will be the one to issue the franchise. So please, may we hear an apology from your side, sir, kasi maski paano you have to respect this office, this august body, na hindi naman kami tau-tauhan dito. Yun lang. Ako personally, as a Committee on Environment, I'm for renewable energy. In fact, me and my friends were already looking at your vehicle to buy, for our personal ng mission to service the areas that are not serviced by our cooperative, and also to the kids and for our use. Pero in fact, I tried riding one of your vehicle, and I liked it because it can load so many people, and that's actually should be the goal already of our cooperative, is to have a bigger vehicle. And pero medyo parang wag namang unahin yung kalesa sa kabayo. Yun lang naman yung gusto namin dito. So sir, Mr. Chairman, that's my I know the sentiment of our august body is ganun parang nawalan tayo ng wala namang problema din kung parang pag alam mo yung prosesong pinangako mo kumbaga hindi porke gin-encourage ka okay talaga yan magpapatempt ka na, Kasi meron kang pinangakuan dito. Yun yung ibig kong sabihin, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Galinero, are you still?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, it's very clear that we are not against your business. We are not against you personally because I do not even
Thank you
know you.
very much.
What we are looking here, Mr. Montalban, is yun nga, a little bit sangkiri lang. Kung sa amon pa sangkiri lang. Kunti lang, respeto. Yun lang naman eh. So it seems that ano kami ya, tando-tando latahay. We were voted by the people, no? So we have also to protect the interest of the people. Yun lang naman eh. Kasi kami yung binabalikan. Oh, nakita ninyo, i-trike na ho, sinagana lang sa karsada man na, wa ganit permit man na ron, wa kamot endorsement. It goes back to us.
Yeah,
So I hope you understand our sentiments. We are not against you, no? May dyan si Honorable Rowin, walang kapong ko iya ko niyaran. Ano man, haron lang sir, yun lang.
Yeah.
Yun lang naman hiningi namin. Wala sabi ko nga, tulungan ka namin eh. Yun yung premise ko sa iyo before, tulungan ka namin para maayos because nakita namin na maganda yung inyong e-trike. Yung sa amin lang naman, yun lang. Pinangakuan mo kami una, pinadala mo kami ng abogado. Ganon din, tulungan namin kayo ma'am. Okay sir, hindi kami ayusin namin lahat. And then, we found out, meron palang ganon. Something, parang, ano lang kami, wala lang, dekorasyon lang, parang ganon. So, I hope you understand, sir.
Mr. Chair.
Okay. Honorable Pagsugiron.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, Mr. Chair, no, sa umpisa talaga, itong started, I was the one who introduced eh. Napuntahan ko yung planta sa may... I was able, pero that was before. I was able to talk to the owner, Mr. Chair. And in fact, I was the one also requested na magpadala ng isang unit dito sa Boracay, no, Mr. Chair. Hindi, because of the technology, dahil may solar nga eh, dahil tinis natin sa kwan. Ang nangyari kasi, Mr. Chair, gusto ko ikwento ito. Ang nangyari kasi dito ay coordinated with the transportation office kay Lolong, no? At yun nga, in fact si Mr. Oxon medyo hesitated pa na mag-grant ng kwan noon nung parang permit, no, dahil for it is one month test drive. Dahil nga ganun, sabi ko siya, i-challenge him na kailangan natin ito dahil kailangan natin na yung ibang supplier na makapagbigay ng tamang technology, no. So ganun nangyari, Mr. Chair. Nandito yung isang unit, akala ko ay i-test drive yun. But it so happens na built-in PC ang nag-operate, Mr. Chair. Ang nangyari, hindi naman test drive kasi until now wala akong natanggap na reports kung ano ang status. Dapat everyday, sana araw-araw noon, Mr. Chair, ay mayroon sanang report regarding kung ano ang improvements or anong kailangan na adjustment doon sa e-trike, Mr. Chair. And then, tumakbo yun ng more than 3 months. Nasabi ko, hindi na test drive ito. That's why, if we go back to the minutes, isa ako nag-privilege na hindi na test drive. So, nahinto yun. That's the reason why we invite also Modelo during that time. So, here comes, na nag-apply. Actually, I have usual conversations with Sir Peter, no? Sabi ko, I am in the process of accrediting your applications. Kaya lang dadaan tayo talaga sa tamang proseso dahil remember, i-try kasi ito at i-distribute natin ito sa mga operators. So, importante dito yung interventions ng local government kasi yung importante assurance. Baka sisihin na naman kami ng mga operators na magbibigay na naman ng before we accredit your company, magbibigay na naman kami ng accreditation ng mga e-trike, tapos problema na naman. So, kami naman babalikan. So, yan ang nangyari, Mr. Chair, no? Yun nga lang, sad to say na hindi pa nga, while we are on the process of accrediting their applications of Modelo, ay pumasok naman yung mga units, no, na sabi ko nga dapat kinumply mo na bago pasok ng mga units, Mr. Chair. But personally, of course, I support the Star 8 e-trike because I believe na, sabi ko nga, baka this is one of the alternative na ma-pursue na natin yung aging policy, no? Mr. Chair, no? So, ito lang naman pag-usapan natin dahil ang concern ko lang dito, yung tungkol dito sa issuance ng special permit ni Mayor sa 10 franchisee. Pero yung bottom line pa rin dito na kailangan natin yung makuha yung explanation from the modelo, yung fleet management nila at or ecosystem. Dahil dito nga rin yung Built-in PC nagre-represent dito sa mga operators natin, siyempre sila magsasabi na okay, para sila ang mag-explain sa mga operators, no, na yan ay pinag-usapan yung Star 8 na e-trike, Mr. Chair, no. So yun lang, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mr. Montalban.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
Mr. Chair, kung
Hello,
si
hello,
Mr.
hello.
Montalban sa sa modelo, may-ari ba or co-owner or
Director according to
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, director. Is that correct?
Yes,
Montalban?
Mr. Chair. I'm both the director and the chief financial officer, but at the same time, I'm also one of the stockholders.
Stockholder.
Mr. Chair, with regards to the apology, the lady, Honorable Lady Graf mentioned, even in the first meeting that we had, I already expressed my apology. I said for that overlap, and again, I'd like to stress that it is not the intention of Modelo to disrespect this Honorable August body. If that was how you perceive it, then again, I'd like to ask for apology. Because that's not our intention. Our intention is to comply with whatever requirements of the LGU, and we will comply. And we have submitted our documents already. Again, we are sorry for that overlap. Thank you very much.
Okay. Honorable Graf is not around. She should hear the
I will
you
I
just
will do it
reiterate,
personally
later on, yeah. But Mr. Montalban, ang aton lang may mga lapses kadtong pangayo ka man sing dispensa. Hindi kita magtudloan na wala nga why man kami nagpasulod sila. Di tudlo mo built-in PC, maapektuhan man nimo nga application sa accreditation. Oo, to malibot na ang issue. Ang gusto naton, kung tahom na agmayo imo nga unit, buligan naton mapasulod. Ang built-in PC man niya, kung i-endorse nila nga okay inyo mga unit, basi eventually, basi kung inyo pa ang i-endorse na lang tanan.
Thank
Kung
you,
magnami gid unit. Pero ang aton, sunda lang ang requirement tanan. Hindi kita magtudloan kay karon tudlo mo ang built-in PC, di sila naman amon pamangkoton. Hasta maabot na lang ang kay mayor man order, pamangkoton naman. Rigudon bala kita. Pero kung ginsunod ninyo ang tanan nga requirements, why na tani ini-issue? Subong tani naga-distribute na lang kita.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Taon tatsan sanay si Uncle Joel, nag-alsa mo talima kay na, mas may babatean na to ng reaction.
Mic test. May ngagahon, Mr. Chair. Nagsatanan nga mga honorable member sa SB. Mr. Chair, pwede ako kabinisaya.
Sige, go ahead. Mas namin ka call ng Bisaya.
Medyo mahina ako mag-English eh. Ang modelo, tungkol nga sa pagkakita ko ba, pwede ba ma-relate ko ano yung mga istorya sa e-trike? Diba, Honorable Bagsugiro, no? Sa makaroon, mapagin perfect nga e-trike. Ang building PC, biktima 6 million dahil lang sa e-trike itsum. Dahil ito nga si Drilon, nagsampit sa amon si Iloilo, ag sandagid ang kauna-unahan nga naka-issue UR ag CR sa e-trike. Surubuo kami. Mingani ada kami delivery isang gatos, delivery kami, namuto kami. So 20. 6 million ang amon utang sa land bank, okay? So ngani, masawaon ba akot interest man sa e-trike nga ang prusa ko man nag-abot, mga bahala lang kamo. Ang Honorable Pagsugiro ng ano nga ulit, Max, bagong bahala lang kamo. Dahil wa ko ba na ila, medyo namadla ba ako. So nga ni, hara, pagsugod star 8, napanahon ako may isang bilog na nakasugod dito. So, gin-istorya ko kung ano nga klase check yan. Ag naka-interest ako, ag ang nagadagay, ako amigo gid. Sa Eco Village, si Mr. Angel De Leon. Ag trusted nga tao, ag makasarang, ag kapabli. Dahil nga sandara, hey, buko matasandait, mga stable talagang financial ko karay. So, well, ato ni Ubrahon nga Boracay maging matahom. Okay? Ang intensyon namin eh. So, nakumbinsi, napukaw matutro akong willingness nga mag-comply sa ginahinyo LGU na halin pa kato sa unang distrasyon nga Islan gid naton. So, nag-istorya kami si Mayor Long, Islan tang tanan nga tricycle. Makon mayor nami Sara siguro makon ang modelo ra ang 888 mo ra man nami dahil may anang TV, ag may wifi, ag may testing namon Mr. Chair. Okay. So okay mo to nga medyo taman-taman kami Honorable Pagsugiro na medyo nagbuhay-buhay. Kadilin siya man eh. Dahil di man tabuhay ko kadilin siya, di ba mga driver. So finally nagmuwa kami. Ag sunod nga sa financial o sa sistema, imorang pinakamanami, Mr. Chair, nga kumpanya. Dahil wa it cash out ang membro. Wa it mga ano-ano ang membro. Wa it mga loan. Dahil ang modelo mismo, ma-provide sa amon it yan, true co-op, Mr. Chair. Na kami lang ma-distribute, sunod man sa mga franchise nga naging grant it Malay RB. Kung makita nga ninyo yun, Mr. Chair, wa man kami nagbayular dahil tanan man iya may mga franchise man ang tawan namon. So technically may problema lang sa accreditation. Siguro isa lang man ako karon nga magbangayo dispensa kung may mga lapses ang built-in PC, no? Nga kabay pa nga mapasensya ninyo kami. Pero ang intention namon nga ang mga membro na ila dahil wa nga it cash out ag kung masamad ang e-trike hindi yun ikaw mugos-mugos ito nga ibutang ito kada adlaw ginasukot ka, no? Harawa pagkasamad unagang ikaw bayluhan ng dait sa bilog ibiyahe mo ag wa kagid it obligasyon agara Mr. Chair ang among gilang obligasyon niya sa among muwa ang gulong ag ang mga oil sa hydraulic agwa si abiron Mr. Chair kung madisgrasya mo kung di problema gidon driver aga tag-iya. Kung makita natin niya sa permit ni Mayor, gin-distribute man namon, no? Nga suno man sa kinabatasan, nga apply yung kamo ito, ang inyong tricycle na ron, i-convert yun ninyo sa tricycle, dahil may order si Mayor sa built-in PC, nga ang tanan, nga nakabuhit i-trike, ipagawa. So kung makita niyo mong amon nga undertaking, nga ginpirmahan sa Rampugo, may order ron kami ipagawa. Comply kami sa SB resolution nga kung magpalit ulo o palit i-trike, palit tricycle, dapat ipagawa. So nga Mr. Chair, ang built-in PC, strongly recommended, nga kabay, medyo kan kung sa ato mga 60% ang nagkakaranda no? Dahil iba tabing i-trike nga to ay wawuta. Ang amon suma to, na battery kung siyo tagagag to. No? Iba man una, gatiangis man, sa zero-wise to una, nag-iinaway yun man. So, iya kara, medyo kamit problema, Mr. Chair. Dahil nga kung masamad, andat Wat na kamit problema, may site sanda, nga ginobre sa may tambisaan, nga una karon ang charging nanda, wat bayad kami sa charging, ang tag-iya mismo, o ang iya kara, Mr. Chair, wat bayad. Ito man sa Eco Village, ito sa naga-charge, wat bayad. So, mas namira nga kumpanya para kakon, nga i-adapt itharang sa kundi ang bayan, buko ba ko gapamilit o makugutudlo. Kabay pa nga maintindihan man ninyo, bilang recipient man kami amon membro, itarang programa at gobyerno nga bisasiin nga less pollution aga less noise and air pollution. Thank you Mr. Chairman, kabay maintindihan man nimo ang panig Boracay Land Transport kasi nga ikaw man ang founding chairman. Thank you Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, ang call, Mr. Hilito. Thank you for your explanation. Bago natin tawad ni Chansa ang atong ibang kaibahan, like what I've said a while ago, sundon lang naton ang proseso, no? Ay suma paskay na ang inyong MOA kung hindi man pwede lang hindi nyo pag-disclose tungod siyempre mausoy gid ang SB. Waran bukon it kanya public transport ang atong ginistoryahan, bukon niya it PPP project nga may confidentiality clause. So para masayran naton, siyempre wa man kita nila nga i-care of ninyo sa building PC pero may gina violar kamo nga regulasyon naton. So kinahanglan tanan gasulod sa regulasyon para dire-diretso ang pag-supply. Okay? Honorable Gallinero.
Mr. Chair, lang.
Okay.
Ang MOA nga ginapangayon ninyo, siyempre kami ang counterpart. Itao lang naman niya kay Honorable Pagsugiron.
No, very good. So dasig, diyan lagi ang MOA. Okay, Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, the statement of our former colleague, no, si Tejo Will, our uncle, my uncle also. Anyway, tama taron no. Usoy kitat manami. Haron, usoy kitat manami. And it was stated in good faith ang andang pag-transaction between the supplier or the manufacturer. So, I know that the cooperative is supporting the project of our LGU Malay, which is yung because of the air and noise pollution, matransfer kita into green, no? Which is, the answer is this e-trikes. And we do believe, Mr. Chair, that ang BLTMPC, sandang recipient karay. Para sandaray, sandang member. But, unfortunately, mat problema dahil nagkaroon sa natmuwa, nagtesting ro ng BLTMPC it ibang mga product. Kumbaga, what problema ron? Okay taron. But the only problem sa kay Sir Montalban, before you enter any project or any business within the municipality, you should siguro you have to consider nga mamangkot anay kita is hara akong project. Ito yung proyekto ko. Ano bala baka meron tayong mga ordinance diyan na para dito any resolution or batas para yun ay susundin natin. Yun lang naman ang hinihingi namin, sir. We're nothing against BLTMPC, we're nothing against your business. Maliwanag na yun lang talaga yung hinihingi namin. Kasi BLTMPC sila yung dapat talagang recipient niyan eh. Hindi naman yung kung sino lang. Kasi hindi natin pwedeng ibigay yung e-trike pag walang franchise from the BLTMPC. Yun naman sir eh. Wala naman kaming personal interest dito na makipag-compete sa business mo or sa ano. As much as we do, we are willing to endorse your project. Yun nga, sabi ni Tay Jewel ay very reliable. Kung natandaan mo kayo na yung statement ko, dahil narinig ko na reliable yung inyong e-trike. Yun lang naman yung hiningi namin, sir. Yung, at least, si Tay Jewel, in behalf, pangayo man imount it's sorry, and then yun nga, sir, sabi namin, wala namang problema doon. Your sorry is granted as long na sinusunod lang natin yung ating mga patakaran. Kasi it was cited in doon sa permit na ibinigay ni Mayor, pero the resolution number 092 hindi na cite doon, which is ito yung pinaka-importante, that the manufacturers, the suppliers should seek accreditation first from this august body. So I hope you understand, sir. At malinaw sa atin na ito ay hindi kasi yun lang naman yung hinihingi namin, sir, kasi parang nabaliwala lang kami. Thank you and good morning, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Lloyd, you were raising your hand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yung last session niya, kaya dumating yung problema na ito dahil nga sa may pinapasok kayong units. So, hindi naman siguro dumating yung problema nito kung hindi kayo nagpasok. So, yung nagreklamo nun, mga supplier. Kaya nakarating dito. Kaya sabi ko naman sa supplier, huwag nyo kaming sisihin. Kasi kayo nag-create ng problema dahil palpak din yung mga units yung nauna. So, yung program ng e-trike dati na yan eh. So, sabi ko, magtanggap pa rin kami ng supplier hanggat may problema yung dumating. Kasi lahat naman ng supplier, puro maganda yan eh. Wala namang pangit eh. So, na-try na, ay yung iba, medyo nakaproblema. So kung nakita naman yung sa inyo na maganda, di malay mo, baka cut na ito sa mga supplier natin dito, baka perfect na inyo. So hindi kami nag-against diyan dahil programa yan ng munisipyo. Pero yung amin lang, respeto lang, tapos kung ano yung kwan, sundin lang. So pasalamat din tayo sa ating mayor na yun nga, ang sabi ni Lolo Joel na ito na ang kuha nga programa na mapalitan, pero hanggat hindi ma-perfect yung supplier, hindi kami mapapalit. Yun lang.
Okay, thank you,
Mr.
Honorable
Chair.
Lloyd. Some more?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Honorable Pagsikiran from Manok-Manok.
The manufacturer of Star 8 company is a foreign company, Mr. Chair. Gusto ko lang for the record sa modelo, Sir Peter. Since I asked you this to you before, no? Ang kwan kasi is siyempre baka yung unit kasi galing sa Star 8 company, and then here comes modelo kasi distributor, no? So far wala kayong arrangement or MOA with Star 8 or may ara ka mo?
Yes,
for the
Mr.
records lang,
Montalban.
Sir Peter.
Please answer the query of Honorable Pagsikiran, sir.
We have an agreement, Mr. Chair. But what we're saying here is that it's because it's the Star 8 who's dealing with the BLTMPC, with the LGU, with the operator and all that. Na-mention ni Mr. Hilito na yung pagkukumpuni pag in times na masira, it's going to be Modelo who will be in charge of that.
Okay. So actually, sir, no, kung tutuusin natin, all these questions na-answered na sana ito kung dumaan tayo sa proseso eh. Because if you submit your proposal for a favorable endorsement with your company, supposedly those questions, gin-question na yan eh. Ano yung modelo, ano yung participation ng Star 8, ano yung participation ng BLTMPC. No? So during the deliberation, andun sana yan natin nasagot lahat. Kaso wala, kaya ngayon nagtatanong din kami, kaya nga nagtaka din ako kanina, ano yung modelo, ano yung Star 8. Sabi niyo yung operation, akala ko yung operation yung Star 8, BLTMPC pala. And then ano po yung Star 8, siya yung supplier? Manufacturer. Financer. Manufacturer. Kayo financer. Kaya nga sana kung naayos natin to, na committee hearing to, lahat ng mga tanong na yan, nasagot na sana. Klaro na. So since that your proposal is with Honorable Pagsugiron already, so maybe the committee chair on cooperative will conduct a committee hearing with regards to your request, no? Okay, so I relinquish my chair to our presiding officer.
The chair.
Thank you, Honorable Linero. Honorable Bautista is
So I think it's
recognized.
already clarified, no, and there was an apology. I don't know if the lady from Motag heard the apology from Mr. Montalban. You heard it, so it's okay now. Okay. So anyway, it was already referred to a certain committee on transportation or cooperative for accreditation. I think just let the committee, the chair, to discuss and resolve this. And for it's their compliance on the regulation, Mr. Chair. I think
Okay.
that's it. That's enough discussion since it's already clarified. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, no, for the
Honorable
records,
Pagsugiron.
I understand that the applications of Modelo was referred to my committee, but I remember also during our previous sessions that one of our colleagues here also recommends that instead of calling a committee hearing, so much better that we will invite the Modelo representative in the plenary so that we can discuss, since there is a sensitivity and parts of their applications, no. Anyway, Mr. Chair, since there is a MOA between Modelo and BLTMPC, so this we will review first this. So right now we cannot act on the request, no, of the Modelo because we will base also our my recommendations, the committee recommendations on the approval of the applications of the Modelo on this MOA. And then, Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang i-highlights tayo ni Sir Peter regarding sa fleet management, because to me the fleet management or the ecosystem is very important, because ang apektado nito is the operator, Mr. Chair.
If I may, Honorable Pagsugiron, you just discuss it further with your committee.
So if it's the pleasure, actually my suggestion is to refer to committee, but the committee chair is his pleasure is to bring it to plenary. So I think we will invite the Modelo next session to discuss it in plenary, and then we refer to committee after the discussion, sir, and then let the committee collect all the documents that would suffice the committee report for its endorsement, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable.
My opinion, Mr. Chair, since that the Modelo is already here, present, no, with regards to their to our query, I think we give it back to the committee, no, because committee na lang yung mag-secure ng mga documents, and together with the land transportation, Mr. Chair, and then they have to endorse that on our plenary for committee report if they found out that the company, the Modelo company, complied all the necessary requirements, Mr. Chair. Because how can we endorse if that will be on the plenary, Mr. Chair?
Okay, Honorable Pagsugiron.
Since there was a referral again back to my committee, Mr. Chair, ganito na lang siya gawin ko. I will of course tingnan ko muna itong MOA ng Built-in PC at Modelo, and then I will discuss siguro some points with regards to fleet management with Sir Peter, no, with Modelo.
You may
after that I will
submit your report, committee report. Yeah.
Then if there's a need, again from any members of the August body to invite for some queries or questioning, Mr. Chair. So that's the time we will decide.
Okay. Honorable Bautista.
On the committee, then if some members are interested to join to be with the committee, so they can
join.
Be present on that committee.
Okay. So after the submission of committee report, if the attendance of the Modelo is necessary, then we will require them again to attend to clarify all other matters that were not discussed. In the meantime, just comply all the requirements with the committee chairman. I would like to inform also that the body or our attendees that ang pag-supply, although gin-endorse it built-in PC ang Modelo, it doesn't mean also na exclusive sa Modelo. So because may pila pa kita ka supplier, so na accredited, so pwedeng may option pa ang mga franchisee kung hindi siya mag-ball. But I will find out kung nami ang anat offer itwan, nasa option yan ng mga members kung okay, acceptable sa kanila. Okay? Anyway, thank you very much for your attendance. Of course, Mr.
Thank you also,
Montalban and your company, the built-in PC directors led by the chairman, Mr. Joey Hilito, and our executive assistant 5. Thank you so much for your attendance. You may continue your conversation after this. And also our municipal transportation officer. And the directors of Built-in PC, our kagawad of Barangay Manokmanok is here also. Thank you so much for your attendance. Let's have 2 minutes break.
Confirmation from the legal authorities or from any intelligence community is still broadcasted on the
That's why we invited you because of our interaction, and that's why we would like to inquire
that this merge might want to destroy my reputation, my dignity, on my personal faith, even in those of my family.
para ma-improve talaga yung aming sa barangay.
Honorable Galinera.
Mr. Chair, thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to lift the suspension of the rules, Mr. Chair.
So it's a motion from Honorable Galinero to lift the suspension of the rules, seconded by Honorable Lloyd. So the suspension of the rules is hereby lifted. Let's proceed to the incoming and referral, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Chairman, for our incoming referrals, is it okay if we'll go first to item number 2 while waiting for the personnel from MPDC?
Proceed.
Okay. Okay, for our incoming number 2, an urgent request of the municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Interior and Local Government for the immediate implementation of the community-based monitoring system, CBMS, for calendar year 2017 in the municipality of Malay.
Okay, since this is an urgent request, Committee Chairman on Laws.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, Mr. Chair, last week, during our plenary, the DILG, a representative from the province of Baclan of our Department of Interior and Local Government, also with the presence of our MLGOO, Mr. Mark De Los Reyes, our municipal mayors, and some department heads. This is with regards to the community-based monitoring system, Mr. Chair, that will be implemented in this municipality. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move that this urgent request of the municipal mayor for an authority to enter a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Interior and Local Government for the immediate implementation of the community-based monitoring system for calendar year 2017 in the municipality of Malay be approved, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the immediate approval of the request of the municipal mayor of an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Interior and Local Government for the immediate implementation of the community-based monitoring system for calendar year 2017 in the municipality of Malay, duly seconded by Honorable Lloyd. So the said request is hereby approved. Proceed, Madam Secretary.
Next incoming, Mr. Chairman, is a letter from our MSWDO. This is addressed to the Honorable Vice Mayor. Dear Vice Mayor Swallow, greetings. This refers to the implementation of the DSWD Kalahi SEEDS NCDDP Kapit B Siglaban sa Kahirapan Comprehensive Integrated Delivery of Social Services National Community Driven Development Program or Tier 2. I am requesting an urgent SB resolution to change the project title from Construction of Tribal Hall and Installation of Lamppost into Construction of Ati Community Center and installation of solar lamp. The project location is in Ati Village, Barangay Kubay Sur, Malay, Aklan. Likewise, requesting an urgent SB resolution to change the project title from Construction of a Civic Center into Construction of a Community Center. The project location is in Barangay Argao, Malay, Aklan. The implementation of this Kalahi SEEDS in CDDP Tier 2 program is a municipal lead implementation. Thank you. And very truly yours, signed by Ms. Magdalena Esprado, the MSWDO.
Since this is also another urgent request, Chairman Committee on Laws.
Certification from the Office of the Mayor.
Honorable Bautista.
Mr. Chair, is there a certification from the Chief Executive that it's urgent?
Mr. Chair, with regards to the letter of Ms. Magdalena Prado to your office on this August body, Mr. Chair, there was no transmittal from the Office of the Mayor certifying that this request of Ms. Magdalena Prado of our Municipal Social Welfare Development Office for urgent, Mr. Chair. Instead, he's requesting an SB resolution from this honorable body.
I think,
So dapat,
I think it's
Okay.
just the protocol is not been
Yes, it's not
properly followed, Mr. Chair. It should be should bring that letter, or address the letter to the mayor, then the mayor will be the one to refer, no, to this with the attachment of this certification for urgency. That
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, so we will just ask our secretariat to advise Miss Prado, no, to seek a communication from the office to the mayor that the said request is an urgent one.
For the in fairness to the office of our MSWDO, I think this one is urgent because of the Kalahi. Yeah, but since that there's no transmittal from the office of the mayor, so we cannot act with this request.
But that's why at the time we have to request from the office of the mayor that to refer the request to the SB for this referral, and the urgency of it is by supporting certification from the office of the mayor.
Yes,
Okay.
So parang
So-
bypass na rin ang office of the mayor.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
by next session, the office of the mayor should send a communication or requesting us to pass that resolution urgently. Okay, let's proceed to number 4, Madam Secretary.
On item number 4, we have your letter from suppliers, financiers, and laborers of Kiko's Boracay Beach Resort, now All-Link Hostel Resort.
Okay, Madam Secretary, kindly send an invitation to the said new owners of Kiko's Boracay Beach Resort. Now it's All-Link Hostel Resort. So they have to attend the session, next session.
May I
Honorable
clarify,
Gallinero.
may I clarify, Mr. Chair, if the same owner, ang Kiko's Boracay Beach Resort, is the same owner of All-Link Hostel Resort?
There was an alleged that they changed the name of the resort because of some reason. That's why we would like to find out, no? Because there were some complaints from the contractors. Okay, so let's proceed to committee report.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable.
So this was
What
referred-
committee this matter will be referred to?
Yeah, in what committee?
I'm suggesting
This,
that we will invite the owner of that certain
In the plenary?
yeah, in the plenary.
Mr. Chair,
Okay.
I think the
Honorable
problem is
Sugiura.
not from All-Link Hostel Resorts, but Kiko's Boracay Beach Resort, Mr. The problems of all this involved personality.
Yeah, but according to the letter, they changed their the name of their establishment to, I think, to cover their misgivings to the contractors. That's why we would like to find out, so that we will require them to submit their documents on how this establishment was transferred to the new name or establishment.
In this letter, they sold the business land buildings to Group Limited Incorporated.
Yeah, that's what they. There was an alleged that they are using that new name. Anyway, we will just invite the new owner if there is new owner, so we will be enlightened. Okay, committee report.
Mr. Chairman, we will go back to item number 1 since the representative from the zoning is already around.
Please come forward, Engineer Joanne. Committee Chairman on Building Construction. Proceed.
Mr. Chairman, for the referral of the MPDC or zoning administrator for the endorsement of the application for zoning and building permit of various applicants in Boracay Island and mainland Malay, we have the application of Boracay Regency Beach Resort Incorporated for construction of proposed 4-story 160 rooms resort hotel with roof deck, bar, and swimming pool located in Barangay Balabag. Boracay Alert Medical Clinic and Diagnostic Incorporated. Construction of 2-story Boracay AMC and Diagnostic Clinic Annex in Balabag. and Mr. Honorable Dante C. Pagsugiron. Proposed 4-story, 15 rooms, residential and commercial building with roof deck, apartment with office and spare part shop at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Is there any representative of the applicants, Ms. Joanne?
From Boracay Regency, sir, wala pa po. Si Sir Errol. So, yung next applicant po andito po.
Okay.
Name of project, Boracay Alert Medical Clinic, and then Diagnostic Annex. Proposed po yan. Name of owner is Boracay Alert Medical Clinic and Diagnostic Incorporated. Lot area is 319 square meters. Right over land is tax declaration of owner was Pablo Hilito. Letter of consent from Fermin Dayaw to Hinaro Cloud Jr. Contract of lease between Hinaro Cloud Jr. and Boracay AMC. CLUP classification is medium density residential mixed-use zone R2. Location of construction is at Diniwid, Sitio Diniwid, Barangay Balabag. Authorized representative is Mark Miguel Duran. Present po.
Okay. So, we will refer this to the Committee on Housing, Land Utilization, and Building Construction. Proceed.
Okay, Mr. Justin, just a few.
Honorable Bautista.
So the tax declaration is under the name of
Pablo Hilito.
Pablo Hilito,
Yes.
and then a letter consent from Fermin Dayaw to Hinaro Cloud Jr.
It's only a written consent, sir. Not notarized po.
Uy.
Eto.
So who is Fermin? Fermin Dayaw is the
Grantor, Pablo S. Hilito Properties Administrator po.
heir. He is also an heir of Pablo Hilito, no? So how about
Yes
the
po.
other heirs? Siya lang ba isa ang heir? Okay, just refer committee on land use, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll refer to the Committee on Land Use. Proceed, Ms. Joanne.
Open space is 29%. So, complied po siya sa 29.23% complied po on 20% open space. Parking space has 2 slots. Complied on 6 meter setback from center line of the road. Proposed construction has not yet started po.
Are you referring to...
Sir.
Okay. The same
Yes po.
proponent.
For demolition po ng structure sa site ngayon.
Okay.
Yun na po.
Okay. So, the next... I'd like to acknowledge our friend here, Mr. Errol. So, let's go back to the first referral.
Yes po, yung pinakaunang applicant po is Boracay Regency Beach Resort Incorporated. Name of project is proposed 4-story, 160 rooms resort hotel with roof deck, bar, and swimming pool. Area is 5,561 square meters. Location of project is at Barangay Balabag, Boracay Island, Malay Aklan. Right over land is tax declaration from Helito et al. Wilfredo M. Contract of lease between heirs of Wilfredo Hilito and Boracay Regency Beach Resort Incorporated. CLUP classification is portion of low density tourist commercial zone T1 and portion of medium density tourist commercial zones T2 po. Authorized representative is Sir Errol F. Ledesma.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
So how about since 50 rooms and above is required for STP, so they also installing the STP?
Yes po, may sa plan po nakalagay po yung STP niya. Tapos complied po siya sa 6 meter setback from center line of the road. Yung parking space niya po is 6 slots po.
So pila ang required dapat? Six slots is
Dapat po 10 rooms is equal to 1 slot.
One slot.
So dapat meron po siyang 16 slots po dapat.
So, what will be the any comments from the present?
Actually, kung tingnan natin yung drawing, good afternoon pala sa lahat. Malaki ang open space niya for, kasi magiging commercial ang baba niya. So, we have to add some more parking space doon sa likod.
Sa likod.
Yes.
So, Mr. Chair, but with the assurance that certain parking space must be allocated at the back. Ms. Joanne?
Based po sa na forward na plano po, wala po na-indicate dito. So siguro po for revisions pa po ito. Andito po yung plan po, dala ko sa.
So with the
Pero
assurance
open
of-
space, yeah. Open
Okay
space.
po, complied po. Kasi sa center po is pool, so malaki po yung open space niya. It's 66.52%. Yung kailangan po natin is 50% lang po.
So some of the open...
Okay, proceed, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Some of the open space will be utilized as parking space. How much is ang area? How many square meters?
5,561 po.
And the building, how...
Building footprint po is 1,861.82
Ilang
square
floors?
meters. 4-story po with roof deck.
Ang swimming pool sa taas o sa baba? Sa baba, akala ko sa taas.
Okay. Is that located nearby Nirvana?
Yes.
Okay.
Yung setback from the road to, compliant one?
Yes po.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I will ask
Honorable
Mr. Errol, if you finish this 160 room, how many rooms there will be with the Hinan if this 160 rooms will be completed?
Nasa 1,200.
Wow.
1,200?
All rooms of Regency.
And you're still planning to add more? Or tama na?
Actually,
Give it a chance.
No, at least
actually,
so
we
that's
still have
will
2 still pending.
pending.
Two
So you'll
projects.
be adding more rooms.
Yes.
2,000 rooms.
Okay.
So how many you maximum na if you will maximize hanggang saan kayo? How many rooms lang dapat?
Nasa 2,400.
Wow. So 1,200.
Okay.
Okay,
If there are no other questions, so we will refer this to the Committee on Housing, Land Utilization, and Building Construction.
Mr. Chair, can I refer to Vice Chairman on Committee on Land Use the possibility of want to inspect the
Okay. So the chairman refer it to his vice chairman for to conduct
Mr. Chair,
inspection. Honorable Gallinero.
I think the chairman is very able. Why he refers that to
Because
the
I was
Vice chairman of
the chairman. I have an appointment tomorrow on Thursday, so
Okay.
So,
not,
with that,
in order not to delay the.
How about the other
endorsement.
members of the committee?
Yes, everybody.
You can
I
join.
think the whole members is invited, but I for 3 weeks already, which I inspected, but I inspected alone. Nobody, no members joined me for the inspection. So
Only you, I, and me.
You and-
I'd like to remind that the other members are Honorable Sumdad, Honorable De Los Santos, and Honorable Aaron. So, Honorable De Los Santos might be able to join the inspection.
Mr. Chair, since the Committee Chair on Land Use instructed me to conduct the actual inspections of the said application, so we'll schedule it on Thursday morning, Ma'am Joanne.
Okay. Okay, so let's proceed to the next proponent. Thank you, Mr. Errol.
Mr. Chair, including Mr. Chair,
Honorable Bautista.
including the Boracay alert on Thursday also.
Next proponent.
Last po kay SB Dante Pagsugiron po.
Does he has a representative here? Authorized?
I will also conduct my own inspection, Mr. Chair.
That's conflict of interest.
Self-serving.
Yeah.
I will inspect my own.
Mr. Chair, may I know what
Okay.
is the project of our Honorable, a good gentleman from Manok-Manok, Mr. Chair.
Yes po, name of project is proposed 4-story, 15 rooms, residential commercial building with roof deck, apartel with office and spare parts shop po. Location is at Barangay Manok-Manok, Sitio Tulubhan po yan. Area is 402 square meters. Right over land is tax declaration owned by Tobias Amedo. Deed of absolute sale of a parcel of land between Tobias Amedo and Dante Pagsugiron. Sa LUP classification po is high density residential mixed use zone R3 po. Yun lang po.
So is this a new construction, Mr. Chair? New construction or existing structures?
Proposed, sir.
Proposed na.
Pero may ongoing na po si sir na excavation lang po.
Excavation pala.
Okay.
So, I think,
Is the project compliant?
Yes po, open space is 52.93%, compliant to 20% open space po. Parking space is sufficient din po. Complied 6.5 meter setback from center line of the road.
How much is the total budget?
Estimated cost po is 6,200,000.
How much?
6,200,000.
Kayang-kaya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So, if there are no other question, we will refer that to the Committee on Housing, Land Utilization, and Building Construction. Proceed. Tapos na?
Yes,
Wala na?
po.
Okay. Sige. Thank you, Engineer Joanne.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's proceed to, is there any other incoming and referral?
None, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. We'll proceed to the committee report.
Okay, for our committee report, first is Committee on Laws and Ordinance regarding an ordinance creating the Barangay Affairs Office of the Municipality of Malay to provide technical assistance to the municipal mayor in the exercise of his supervisory function over the barangays and to serve as the municipality's coordinating body with the Liga ng mga Barangays, the barangays and the Sangguniang Kabataan primarily in areas of budgeting, planning, and operations, subject to all laws and existing legal rules and regulations introduced by Honorable Aron, and an ordinance regulating the drinking of alcoholic beverages in all public places in the municipality of Malay introduced by Honorable Graf, a request of the municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the Philippine Airlines Incorporated for the protection and conservation of the remaining beach forest ecosystem and its wildlife resources in Barangay Yapak. Request of the municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with Land Bank of the Philippines for the construction or installation of ATM machine booths at the ground floor of municipal building. And resolution congratulating the Malay Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council for winning first place, the Best Local Disaster Reduction Management Council in Region 6 and Boracay Action Group Best Volunteer Group introduced by Honorable Gallinero.
Okay.
Thank you.
Committee Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Chair. First, Mr. Chair, this is an ordinance creating the Barangay Affairs Office, or BAO, of the Municipality of Malay to provide technical assistance to the municipal mayor in the exercise of his supervisory function over the barangays and to serve as the municipality's coordinating body with the Liga ng mga Barangays, the barangays and the Sangguniang Kabataan primarily in areas of budgeting, planning, operations, subject to all laws and existing legal rules and regulations. This was introduced by Honorable Olita Aron, our Liga President. Actually, Mr. Chair, this was already approved by this body, but because of some comments of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Mr. Chair, so Municipal Mayor, Office of the Municipal Mayor, it goes back again to this committee. So those comments are already observed, Mr. Chair, and properly noted with regards or in regards in creating of this Barangay Affairs Office. So in that regards, Mr. Chair, for the second time around, I move that this ordinance creating the Barangay Affairs Office be approved, be calendared on the second reading.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of his committee report regarding the ordinance creating the Barangay Affairs Office of the Municipality of Malay to provide technical assistance to the municipal mayor in the exercise of his supervisory function over the barangays and to serve as municipality coordinating body with the Liga ng mga Barangays, the barangays and the Sangguniang kabataan, primarily in areas of budgeting, planning, and operation, subject to all laws and existing legal rules and regulation. Seconded by Honorable Lloyd, so the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed.
Another report, Mr. Chair, from this committee, an ordinance regulating the drinking of alcoholic beverages in all public places in the municipality of Malay, Aklan. This was introduced by Honorable Mylene Graff. Anyway, Mr. Chair, this was already passed through our second reading in this August body, but because of some comments from the office of the mayor, it goes back to my committee. So upon corrections were made with regards to this municipal ordinance, and this humble representation properly noted those comments by the Chief Executive Office. So again, Mr. Chair, for the second time around, I move that this ordinance from this committee, an ordinance regulating the drinking of alcoholic beverages in all public places in the municipality of Malay, Aklan, be adopted and calendared on the second reading.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of his committee report regarding the ordinance regulating the drinking of alcohol beverages in all public places in the municipality of Malay, Aklan. Seconded by Honorable Lloyd Maming, so the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed to letter C.
Letter C, this is a request of our municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the Philippine Airlines Incorporated for the protection and conservation of the remaining beach forest ecosystem and its wildlife resources in Barangay Yapak, Malay, Aklan. Last week, Mr. Chair, this committee called a committee hearing, and it was attended by no less than our municipal mayor and a representative from Department of Environment and Natural Resources, a certain Mr. Lababit, and of course from the proponent of this one of the signatories of this memorandum of understanding, represented by Mr. Pereña. The committee, Mr. Chair, or during the discussion, we discussed about the memorandum of agreement that will be intended to sign by our chief executive, and it's a tripartite agreement between the municipality of Malay, represented by Honorable Mayor Kawaling, from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and of course from the Philippine Airlines Incorporated, a company duly registered under the laws of the Philippines with principal address at PNB Financial Center, President Diosdado Macabal Avenue, CCP Complex, Pasay City, represented by Mr. Sherwin Tan. In this connection, Mr. Chair, this is a conservation area for our flying foxes, no? That the Philippine Airlines will allocate 3.2 hectares for the conservation of our flying foxes in Sitio Hagdan, no? Barangay Yapak, Mr. Chair. In that hearing, Mr. Chair, I also asked the DNR if that is already capable of handling the flying foxes. Anyway, Mr. Chair, the Shangri-La, they have also 1.2 hectares, no, nga amot ito. So plus Anapat San Miguel, but the San Miguel area is a little bit far from that area, no. Dahil nga according to the barangay captain o barangay Yapak, there are also some bats who are on that area. But in the flying foxes area, it was 3.2 that will be allowing by the Philippine Airlines, and 1.2, no, if not mistaken, from the Shangri-La. So it almost 4.4 hectares conservation area for our flying foxes in that area, Mr. Chair. So according to our municipal mayor, the total area of the property of PAL in that area is 16.9, and they will be having a conservation area of 3.2. So ang mabiling kandakara more or less mga 13 hectares, no? And the 13 hectares, some of it will be constructed a hotel, no, on that area. So we asked the Honorable Mayor if what is his comment with regards to this. It was duly noted some of revisions of this tripartite agreement, no, and after that, Mr. Chair, it was agreed that the DNR, the PAL, and the LGU Malay have an agreement that properly discussed during the committee hearing, Mr. Chair. So, with that, Mr. Chair, I move that this...
Mr. Chair, I have some
Honorable
concern.
Bautista.
Some concern. So, if the purpose of this, it's no comment, Mr. Chair, and to be properly discussed during second reading. So, if the purpose is for the conservation of the flying fox, why did they include the beach? My concern, Mr. Chair, is what happened at Shangri-La, that they made the beach as exclusive use for them. So with this, the same thing will happen at that Poca Beach, Mr. Chairman.
The area?
Because they included the beach, oh. So there will be again an exclusivity for the use of that beach front of the beach.
In what whereas?
I mean, even the title, Mr. Chair, the request.
Conservation of remaining beach forest ecosystem is wildlife.
Forest lang, not the beach.
Remaining beach.
What happened in Shangri-La, Mr. Chair? They use the beach exclusively for their own guests. Nobody can drop there any boats. So the same thing will happen there.
So kindly coordinate with the office of the mayor, Honorable.
The title, oh. Request the mayor for authority of enter the memorandum agreement. Letter C.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I would like to read the transmittal letter of our municipal mayor, forwarding herewith a memorandum agreement regarding sustainable conservation program of a 16.9 hectare property in Barangay Yapak owned by PAL. In view thereof, I am requesting the passage of this resolution authorizing the Honorable Mayor Ciceron Cawaling to enter into a memorandum agreement with the Philippine Airlines Incorporated, represented by Mr. Sherwin Sitan, and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources Region 6, represented by the Regional Director Jim O. Sampulan, CISO 3, for a private action signed Honorable Mayor Ciceron Cawaling. So maybe I would like to ask our Secretary
the purpose.
Ang kasunod yan.
The Chair.
Best
Honorable
forest
Bautista.
ecosystem. The meaning best forest. What you have written in our title of the committee report is the same. It's not the same with the request of the municipal mayor.
So we have to omit
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
the beach,
The purpose,
Honorable.
the purpose of this MOA, or yes, is for the protection and conservation of the remaining beach forest ecosystem and its wildlife. So my concern is here, if I think we have to.
They have a draft memorandum of agreement.
Actually, it was discussed in tuto with us, with the municipal mayor and the representative of the ano. So if that is the case, we will delete, no?
No. I think, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, ma-prevail ang request ni Taton Municipal
No, Mr.
Mayor.
I think with the proposed MOA should first be I mean, should be checked or reviewed first by our legal officer, so that if any amendments on that MOA, that's a proposed MOA only, Mr. Chair.
Honorable,
actually, this was already came from the office of the mayor, and kinpasa nanda sa aton, and then with the presence of the mayor, we discuss it in toto. So, and then we have to put it back.
But we have to check this, because this thing, this MOA will what happened same as with the Shangri-La.
Actually,
exclusive na yung bit sa kanila.
Actually, through this committee on our second reading, we can delete the.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, I found here in the third whereas PAL as successor to BPHI similarly committed to continue protecting and preserving the remaining flying foxes and its roosting areas because of its role in sustaining the beach forest ecosystem, as well as other forest ecosystems not only in Boracay Island but the mainland of Panay as well. But if you look at it, it is refers to the best forest ecosystem because this is not kumbaga bukod purely forest best for beach forest. That's the understanding, my understanding. The best
Very
forest
clear. When we
ecosystem.
talk about beach, bye-bye kita ron.
But it should be specified. Otherwise, it will repeat the
Yeah,
the
if
same
you-
problem with the.
If you could, Mr. Chair, I read it again. Whereas, PAL, as successor to BPHI, is similarly committed to continue protecting and preserving the remaining flying foxes and its roosting areas because of its role in sustaining the best forest ecosystem. So it does not refer nga ang beach ay kuanimaw, but because of the best forest ecosystem. Not only forest ecosystem, dahil kung forest lang imaw eh. So best forest
Yeah.
ecosystem.
So just Mr. Chair, Mr. Ryu, because they were here, the request is for the protection eh. So we check all the contents of the MOA, Mr. Chair.
Anyway,
Actually, Mr. Chair, no, since the committee had already a committee report, so maybe we can have a proper discussion on the second reading,
Second reading.
for some amendments of the were assessed.
Okay.
Okay, so
Proceed.
thank you.
Mr. Chair, can we ask a copy of that MOA?
Give us a copy.
Yes.
Okay.
Just a copy.
Okay, just
before
provide the members a copy of the draft MOA.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I
Honorable
also
Graf.
was asking why I was not invited in the committee hearing when I'm supposed to be in the environmental committee, which tackles the area, protected area of our island. So I would have appreciate if I was sitting in, so at least I can have view of or information of what had been discussed, and maybe I could have contributed something because I have more or less more idea about the conservation part more than the development part.
Okay. Honorable Gallinero. what
Thank
happened?
you, Mr. Chair. Actually, this shall we say that the letter of the request of our municipal mayor, it was referred to the committee on laws because this is a tripartite agreement, Mr. Chair. And then if our colleague Honorable Graf had any recommendations or more shall we say addendum with regards to this MOA, they can submit that on our second reading.
Okay.
May I have a copy na lang of the minutes? Maybe there I can
yes, from our office secretary.
Minutes and the draft MOA.
minutes and the draft MOA.
Okay.
So from
Okay, just
there I
provide
can-
the Honorable Graf the copy of the minutes committee report, minutes and also the draft MOA.
Okay.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the August body can have their copy, no? Madam Secretary, please note. Take note with regards to the request of the honorable body. So on that regards, Mr. Chair, I move that this committee report, a committee on laws, that the request of the municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the DENR and the Philippine Airlines Incorporated for protection and conservation of the remaining beach forest ecosystem and its wildlife resources in Barangay Yapak, Malay Aklan be adopted and calendar on the second reading.
Okay. So there's a motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of committee report regarding the request of the municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the Philippine Airlines Incorporated for the protection and conservation of the remaining forest ecosystem and its wildlife resources in Barangay Yapak, Malay Aklan. Seconded by Honorable Lloyd. So the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Please proceed.
Another committee report, Mr. Chair. This is a committee report with regards to the request of our municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum agreement with Land Bank of the Philippines for the construction, installation of ATM machines both at the ground floor municipal building. Actually, Mr. Chair, last week we conducted a committee hearing and it was attended by a representative from the Land Bank of the Philippines in Katiklan branch and of course our municipal department heads, no? with regards to the installation of the ATM machine booth in our municipality. So to make it more easier to our employees, Mr. Chair, to have their withdrawal of their salaries, the Land Bank of the Philippines will put up a ATM machine in our municipal building, no, and that is located at the left side when you are facing our municipal hall, or our municipal hall, Mr. Chair, no. And then the local government unit of Malay will be the one to shoulder all the necessary expenses for the construction of placing a ATM booth in our municipality. And of course, the Land Bank of the Philippines, they have also another ATM machine in their office in Katiklan, and they have one in their bank also, no, in GT Port. And later on, they will also put up an ATM booth in Action Center in Boracay Island, Mr. Chair. This is in accordance because our money of the municipality of Malay is deposited in Land Bank of the Philippines, Mr. Chair. On that regards, Mr. Chair, I move that this memorandum of agreement, or a request of our municipal mayor for an authority to enter a memorandum of agreement with Land Bank of the Philippines for the construction installation of ATM machine booth at the ground floor municipal building be adopted and calendared on the second reading.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of committee report regarding the request of the municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with Land Bank of the Philippines for the construction, installation of ATM machine both at the ground floor municipal building. And is duly seconded by Honorable Pagsugiron. So the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed, Committee Chairman, on letter E.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, this is a resolution congratulating the Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or MDRRMC, for winning first place in Best Local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Councils in Region 6 and the Boracay Action Group, BIFRAB, and the BIFRAB. BIFRAB, Mr. Chair. This is with regards to the performing abilities, no, in towards assistance in within the municipality. So in the whole Region 6, Mr. Chair, ang number 1 sa MDRRMO is Malay, MDRRMC. And also in private, the BIFRAB, which was managed by Mr. Leonard Tirol, in private category, they are also number 1. So both came from this municipality. So in that regards, Mr. Chair, I move that this resolution congratulating the MDRRMC for winning first place and the BIFRAB for winning also first place in private category be adopted and calendared on the second reading.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of his committee report regarding the resolution congratulating the Malay Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council for winning first place Best Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council in Region 6 and Boracay Action Group as Best Volunteer Group. Seconded by Honorable De Los Santos. The said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed. The next is Committee on Land Use on request for SB endorsement of the following. Proceed.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, next committee report is Committee on Land Use on request for SB endorsement of the following. First is Miss Ami Coenen, two-story commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok. Next is Mr. Ronald.
Okay, proceed, Honorable Bautista.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, this was inspected and they complied all the requirements, and the committee endorsed the application of Ms. Ami Conen, Mr. Friday.
Okay, so the said request for endorsement, Mrs. Ami L. Kunin is hereby approved.
Yes.
Proceed. Second.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Mr. Ronald S. Villanueva. Two-story commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Committee Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The building is two-story commercial building is already existing, and this the application is for a belt plan as belt, Mr. Chair, application. So since the building is already existing and there was no zoning and building permit, so they will be penalized for its violation, Mr. Chair. But the open space, the height limit, and setback is complied with, Mr. Chair, except for the structures has no permits, zoning, and building permits. So they will be fined for this violation, Mr. Chair.
Okay, can you put it in the motion? So
Yeah. So I move that the application of Mr. Ronald Villanueva for the application for two-story commercial building, this is existing, will be approved for endorsement, but they have to pay the penalty for construction without the zoning and the building permit, Mr. Chair.
Okay, as stated by Honorable Bautista, the said motion for the request of endorsement of Mr. Ronald Villanueva is hereby approved. Seconded by Honorable Pasuiron. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Mr. Rick S. Hilito. Two-story commercial building at Barangay.
Committee Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So the application of Rick S. Hilito, Mr. Chair, for the two-story commercial building, I move that the application of Rick S. Hilito, the two-story building commercial building, will be endorsed, Mr. Chair, since all the documents are complete and requirements are complied with. So the motion for endorsement, Mr. Chair, is hereby approved, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the SB endorsement for the applicant, Mr. Rick Hilito, seconded by Honorable Pasuiron. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Ms. Victoria de Los Santos. A construction of this three-story, 23 rooms commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Committee Chairman.
Mr. Chair, I move that the application of Ms. Victoria de Los Santos for its three-story 23 rooms commercial building application to be endorsed, but since the structures are existing with no zoning and building permits, but upon the inspection, they complied with the height limit, the open space, and the setback, except for the building which constructed without zoning permit and a building permit, so they will have to pay the penalty, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the SB endorsement for the applicant, Ms. Victoria de Los Santos, seconded by Honorable de Los Santos. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed. So there's another.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is another Ms. Victoria de Los Santos, three-story 4 rooms commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, committee chairman.
So, Mr. Chair, I move that the application of Ms. Victoria de Los Santos for the three-story 4 rooms commercial building will be approved. Well, it's endorsement, and upon by inspection, so all the requirements on our ordinance on setback, the open space, and the height limit is complied with, and this is an existing structure, but it should be removed, and there will be a new structure will be constructed, the Chair. So I move for its endorsement, the Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of SB endorsement for the applicant Victoria de Los Santos, seconded by Honorable de Los Santos. May lang Honorable de Los Santos. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Mr. Abdul Nasser Apal, as built 1-story commercial building at Barangay Katiklan.
Proceed, committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the application of I move that the application of Abdul Nasser Apal will be endorsed for approval, Mr. Chair, for that one-story commercial building. It's existing, but I think it's only native materials, but they are applying for to make the structure more modern, maybe. But there was set maybe 10 or 0.5 meters of the setback requirements from the center of the road, since it's a highway. So they will be submitting and understand undertakings to comply in case there will be an road widening, Mr. Chair, to remove the portion of that encroachment from the setback, Mr. Chair. So I move for its endorsement, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of SB endorsement for the applicant, Mr. Abdul Nasir Apal.
With penalties, Mr. Chair.
Okay, with penalties. Duly seconded by Honorable Lloyd, so the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
Okay, next, Mr. Chairman, is Mr. Vincent Jan Villacorte, one-story commercial building at Barangay Katiklan.
Proceed, committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that for endorsement, the application of Vincent John Villacorte for a one-story commercial building in Katiklan, Mr. Chair, and upon to scrutinize the documents that are submitted, except for the authorization letter from AP Cargo, Mr. Chair, for its submission to legalize the document, Mr. Chair. So, except for the submission of the authority, Mr. Chair, so I move for the endorsement of this application, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of SB endorsement for the applicant Vincent Jan Villacorte, seconded by Honorable Gallinero. So the said motion is hereby approved. Next, the last applicant.
The last applicant, Mr. Chairman, is Miss Christine Chenko, construction of cold storage located at Barangay Katiklan.
Proceed, committee chairman.
The chair, the application of Miss Christine Chango for its construction of cold storage. Actually, the structure is almost 90%, I think, complete. But however, there was some information that the diversion road, no, from what's the area, that Union, I think, will be passed on that area. But and they said also that the proposed road will be transferred to other side. But we require them to submit a certification from the DPWH if how true that that area is proposed before will be transferred in some areas which are not in that structure. So until such time, Mr. Chair, that he will submit the DPWH certification that that area is free from the diversion road. So we have to pending the application until the DPWH certification will be submitted to the office of the zoning, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so Mr. Honorable Gallinero.
If ever that the road will be pushed through, walang setback, sir.
Tamaan ng kalsada yung kanya area.
Okay, so we will defer the application of Mr. Christine Chinko. No, this will be subject for requirement of a submission of a certificate from the Department of Public Works and Highway. So let's proceed to number 3.
Next committee report, Mr. Chairman, is Committee on Land Use regarding petition letter from residents, business operators of Ambolong South on closure of the existing access road in their area.
Okay, so is this referred to Committee on Laws, no? Okay, Committee on Land Use. Committee Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is about the petition of 14 establishments in the area, in the Angol area, Mr. Chair, and 38 residents with the signatures for the petitions. So there was a 52 petitions for the closure of access roads leading the area which is leading to the main road, no? And it was since some of the properties in the area, especially from the
Angol Point, yeah.
it was bought by Siradan Villa Incorporated, I think, and some other properties or establishments have been bought also. And the problem is there was a plan to close the portion of that area, which was the access road from the main road leading to the beach. So there was a petition addressed to the barangay chairman and of course to the vice mayor, and the Orchid's owner, which is Mr. John, called me the other day that there was already information that we will be closing the access roads. I recommended to him, suggested that to submit or to bring the petition now to the office of the mayor so that the mayor can make action on that to stop first this closure. At the such time, that will be some other rerouting on that area, Mr. Chair. So that's my suggestion to him. But anyway, this if we call for a committee hearing, it took time. So I think I said that the barangay chairman can act immediately, and the chief executive, the mayor, can act immediately with their petition, Mr. Chair. And this petition is addressed to your office, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So I already inspected the area and make some suggestion to them what to do, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and they have a pending application here, or not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet, sir.
So they have to remind them also that if ever they will not come up with a compromise solution to this matter, and if they're going to apply endorsement from us, so we cannot allow them. Honorable
Actually,
Galinero.
Mr. Chair, the proponent is Sheridan Corporation, the same company who get the land of Honorable De Los Santos, Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
Honorable Pagsugiro.
Actually, since there was already communications with the barangay of Manok-Manok and also to the office of the mayor, but still, since this matter was referred to the Committee on Land Use, maybe the Committee on Land Use can still proceed to the, like for a committee hearing, invite the Sheridan corporations so that I think let's not wait for the applications of Sheridan before we take actions, Mr. Chair. So I think the committee on land use can take necessary measures, no, with regards to the petitions of the petitioners.
Okay, and probably we'll ask the Secretariat to send an official notice to zoning and engineering that there was a complaint petition filed before us, so that they can hold the whatever application they might have. So the committee chairman on land use, do you have any initial discussion with the owner, Sheridan, that they will reroute their?
We will be contacted yet. So I told the zoning, Ms. Joanne, to get the address or the address of the or who is the person or the coordinators or anybody from that company to be contacted with. But until now, I haven't heard any from the zoning office, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so what will be the resolution of the body? We will call them on our next session. So
Mr. Chair,
Honorable
I think
Bautista.
my suggestion is to get the address of this Sheridan, and we will send them the communication regarding this petition. Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay. Madam Secretary, kindly secure an official address of Sheridan so we can send communication, and we will invite them to attend here. Okay. Let's proceed to number 4.
Okay,
Committee on-
for our last committee report, Mr. Chairman, is Committee on Budget and Appropriation regarding supplemental budget of Barangay Mutag for calendar year 2017.
Committee Chairman, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is, Mr. Chair, with regards to the supplemental budget of Barangay Mutag that they are requesting for the endorsement, no, of their supplemental budget amounting to 167,900 8.45 cents, no, that will be approved. This appropriation in the same amount includes item for personal services, maintenance, and other operating expenditures, 20% development fund, and 10% SK fund. So upon verification of their papers, Mr. Chair, I find that this supplemental budget has complied substantially with the provision of the local government code and other budgetary issuances. So I move that this budget, supplemental budget, asking by the Barangay Mutag amounting to 167,908.45 cents be approved on the second and final reading.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the committee on budget and appropriation regarding supplemental budget of Barangay Mutag for calendar year 2017, seconded by Honorable Lloyd. So they said motion is hereby approved. Proceed to the calendar of business for the day, second reading.
Mr. Chairman, for our calendar of business for the day, second reading. First is resolution approving the annual investment program EIP for supplemental budget number 01 of LGU Malay for calendar year 2017.
Proceed, the committee chairman, budget and appropriation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This report, this is with regards to the annual investment plan, a resolution approving the annual investment program for supplemental budget number 01 of LGU Malay for calendar year 2017. So upon verification, Mr. Chair, with regards to the requirements requested by the committee, particular on the resolution of the NDC and resolution from the Solid Waste Management Board with regards to their changing of the figures with regards to the hauling of our residual waste, and upon verification of all the contents of this annual investment plan, I move that this EIP of annual investment plan for supplemental budget number 01 of LGU Malay for calendar year 2017 be approved.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman.
Be approved and calendared on the third and final reading.
Motion for approval, a resolution approving the annual investment program for supplemental budget number 01 of LGU Malay for calendar year 2017, seconded by Honorable Paderes. So they said resolution is hereby approved for second reading and be calendared for third and final reading.
Okay, next on second reading, Mr. Chairman, is resolution approving the application for accreditation of Seven Stones Boracay Homeowners Association Incorporated and Boracay Mabuhay Pillars Organization Incorporated.
Okay, the committee on chairman of the committee on cooperative. Proceed.
Mr. Chair, with regards to the resolution, request of the for accreditations, re-accreditations of Seven Stones Boracay Homeowners Associations Incorporated, and Mr. Chair, the Boracay Homeowners Association, Mr. Chair, is actually a request for re-accreditations because in my records here, they submitted the certification of accreditations which was approved July 24, 2013, and the resolution approving the application for accreditations of Seven Stones Boracay Homeowners Associations, Mr. Chair, and according to the corporate secretary, they're not, because the BIR, I think they're paying for taxes to the BIR, Mr. Chair, and one of the lacking requirements is the accreditations from the local government. So so with this, Mr. Chair, so I move for the approval of the application for accreditations of Seven Stones Boracay Homeowners Associations Incorporated, and be calendared on third and final reading, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
is this not included in our calendar of business?
Yeah, sa daan. Number 2. Ay, pilit.
Kinulang ang space.
So there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of a resolution approving the application for accreditation of Seven Stones Boracay Homeowners Association Incorporated, seconded by Honorable Gallinero. So the said resolution is hereby approved for second reading and be calendared for third and final reading. Proceed with the Boracay Malay Pillars.
And for the Boracay Malay Pillars Organization Incorporated, Mr. Since I am the chairman or the president of this organization, so may I request Honorable Bautista to do for the endorsement.
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
Mr. Chair, the draft resolution submitted to me is, if you check it, on the fourth word access, and the third word access is Seven Stone Station and Boracay. So, there was no separate resolution. It's just only one resolution.
No, it's a separate resolutions for Boracay Malay Pillars.
Huh? I see. Actually, I checked, Mr. Chairman, and it's the first time, to be frank, that I saw a document with so many erasures. But it complied with the requirements. But I was only surprised why is it that so many erasures. The first time I saw documents submitted to government agencies, especially the SEC, with so many erasures, especially on its memberships and incorporators. So anyway, Mr. Chair, upon the checking and review of the document, so that is complied with for its compliance on the requirements for accreditation. So I move for its approval of the chair.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the Vice Chairman for the approval of a resolution approving the application for accreditation of Boracay Malay Pillars Organization Incorporated,
So
duly seconded by Honorable Gallinero.
So when we-
the said resolution is hereby approved for second reading and be calendared for third and final
The
reading.
chair?
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
When will be the induction of officers?
Everybody is
induction of
invited.
Thank you, Mr.
Ah.
Chair.
Everybody. And anyway, Mr. Chair, despite of many erasures, the Securities and Exchange Commission still approved the said applications, and it's good that also the Honorable Bautista considers also. So thank you for the endorsement.
Okay.
You're welcome, Mr. Chair.
Let's proceed to the unassigned business. No unassigned business. Other matters?
Other matters. May I,
Honorable Graf.
I'd like to, I was listening to all our, there's our problem in Boracay with regards to our environment is still there and is piling up. I forwarded we really should adopt this environmental code proposed or made by Dr. Fortes. So our office have already a copy of the soft copy of the ordinance, and we still have 1 month pala to study it and adopt it, because so that we will be able to focus on other things, because once the environmental code is in place, dun na lahat eh. So even our investors, they will be able to see that, and it's more transparent, so we will not be subjected to so many complaints at the end of the day.
Okay, so your
It's
committee
already
should
with the-
review.
Yeah, it's already with our office. So each and every one of us will have a copy of that
Okay.
for our own
Pero
file,
sal, yeah, okay.
Oo, and also, but they were not able to print yesterday because it's brown out. Diba? Oh, on holiday also. Diba?
Okay.
Also, Mr. Chair,
I have a question.
With the indulgence of Honorable Graf, may I respectfully ask, because I have a flight at 3 o'clock, so Can you expedite?
You just left. You're leaving again?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Just some feedback from our community, about the constructions going on in the island. They are asking us if we have plans of again, that moratorium on construction, because we really have to address our issues first and our problems before we build and build and build more. That's their concern, because as we cannot kumbaga hindi unaton masarangan ang aton ginatubang ang sige lang katadugang. So imoro ang their concern. It's not just one concern, but it's a lot of people are asking me if we have that plan in our municipality.
Okay. Honorable Galinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My observation, Mr. Chair, we cannot have a moratorium unless otherwise we have a concrete plan, for the development in the island of Boracay. Aside from that, we still have our CLUP to conform of those projects intended for a certain area. So may aton man nga si LUP, so they must abide with the comprehensive land use plan. Now, if we go to moratorium, we have to see to it, bago natin i-implement ang moratorium, we have a concrete plan.
Actually, the idea of moratorium is so that we can have a concrete plan before we start again. Once we start, done with the moratorium, dapat tapusin natin programa. Because we have to look where we are now and where we are going. That's the purpose actually of moratorium.
I think we have to have a moratorium, Mr. Chair. But before implementing the moratorium, we have now a concrete plan so that that moratorium maayos naton bala.
Okay na.
So tama bi kabudlay nga wa kitat plano tapos ma-moratorium kita, no? So dapat may concrete plan kita para nga may irason kita nga mag-moratorium mula, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
Actually, the Municipality of Malay already issued 2 moratoriums. So we have the SLUP, we have the plans, we have the zoning ordinance, we have the SLUP. The problem only is implementation, Mr. Chair. So as long as there will be a proper implementation on the setback, the open space, and the height limit, I think there's no problem. And they must follow what is been stated on the SLUP, Mr. Chair. But there were some areas in Boracay na parang saturated na. So maybe in the proposal of the Chair or Committee on Environment to check some areas in Boracay na talagang hindi na pwede lagyan pa dahil hindi na comply yung open space, hindi na comply yung height limits, yung setbacks, then maybe you can identify that area na that area should be subject for wala naman ng construction dyan until it should be corrected. So we will maybe the proposal is good, maybe, but we have to identify some areas in the island, not all. Chair.
Okay. So Honorable Grab is proposing a moratorium or wala naman.
I'm asking the comment
Okay.
of everybody.
Okay.
I'm bringing here a feedback from our constituents.
Okay. We will ask the committee chairman to review that issue. The chairman of the committee on land use. Okay, Honorable Galinero.
Another concern, Mr. Chair, with regards to the statement of Honorable Graf. This is with regards to the environmental code. Actually, that's why I'm hanging with regards to environmental code, because during the committee hearing, the environmental committee was the one conducted a committee hearing, and not the committee on law. So who will endorse now on the?
It should be joint committee na lang para Committee on Laws and Committee on Environment.
The chair, it should be the Committee on Laws.
Yeah, because that is ordinance. It
should be the Committee on Laws to review. Okay. Since the Committee on Environment, they were the one who crafted the ordinance, so it should be referred to Committee on Laws.
No, because during the time that Mr. Fortich, Dr. Fortich is here, ay dahil gin-conduct ni nanginit ang committee hearing. So if the Committee on Laws, I have to conduct again a committee hearing. Para
to continue with the procedure, then you have to You have to handle the committee hearing because that's an ordinance. Okay? Honorable Pasugiro.
Other matters, Mr. Chair. Okay. Kuwan lang. Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang I'd like to reiterate again my invitations to this with regard to snorkeling area because as per record, Mr. Chair, the issuance of fake tickets is still continued and
So who will be invited so we can ask the secretariat?
the maritime, the chief caporal, Mr. Samuel Torres, Mr. Denrick Sajasa, and of course our
Municipal treasurer and municipal
and
accountant.
the MFSA and the municipal accountant, Mr. Boneres Pagsugeron.
Okay, take note of that, Madam Secretary. So we will invite them for to attend the next session. Honorable Bautista.
Since I think the more matters to be discussed, so I move for its adjournment, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion.
Before we move for the I'd like to inform.
The chair is moving, going to Manila.
Announcement. No, it's just an
announcement.
Announcement that the BFI have already sent a letter to our lawyer in Manila and for regarding the expansion of the jetty ports, both in Cagban and in Boracay, wherein the bridges are almost touching each other. Anyway, the other letter that we sent is for the governor of Aklan regarding at least the maintenance of the potholes on the roads of Boracay, no? Kasi it belong to them, at least tabunan nanda. And that we should not wait anymore for his promise, which is, according to him, is ongoing ang prepare the overlaying of concrete isang bilog. Yeah, that's the one. But what we were requesting from BFI is for the governor to order to cover already the potholes, mga batsi ba?
Okay.
Which is getting worse every time it rains.
Okay.
So I am expecting our counterpart on the SB to write the same. So
we have already sent our resolution.
Actually, we want to return back the
land,
that provincial road to road so that we can improve it. The chair, I don't know what happened to our resolution.
Yeah, we're waiting for their
15 days.
So many is approved.
No news is good news, diba?
So I think we have to pass another resolution, Mr. Chairman. Then we have to address it to the DPWH or to the Malacanang office.
Or if we have time, we can talk directly to the governor.
Yeah.
Mas mayad maglayalo.
So is there a need of that he doesn't know what's happening, what happened on that or what the existing road? What they have no people to inspect or I don't know. How serious
maybe
are
they
they?
have to read the social media, like what the police did, no?
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Madam Secretary.
The United Brilliant International Gaming Corporation has extended an invitation for a dinner. Gusto ko nun nga ipakita sa honorable members body ang andang facilities sa Crown Regency.
When?
Nasa inyong convenient time. Wa sandat ginano schedule kamo lang kuno ano.
Facilities
ang anda nga casino siguro.
Casino.
Sa Crown Regency.
So dapat ay di sa gapoy bawal man tayo, di ba? They are not allowed to enter in the casino.
Mana sa i-tour, gusto nanda nga i-tour ang body.
But it must be no operation or else we could be charged of
dinner after.
Ngani? Naloko na. Ay bawal magsugod eh. Oo, not only sa they put off first their CCTV. Walang operation, then we will get inside. Wala CCTV. Anyway, if they will send us some communications, so ang purpose man siguro is fun lang. Okay, mas yun na. We'll go na not to play eh. Basta hindi lang mabuyot itang kwento, delikado. Si magbira sa slot machine na eh.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, dali. Maybe we will just make a schedule, maybe. Mr. Chair, about the public hearing, SB Graft told us this afternoon that they have the protest with the sa increase of the property tax. Mayroon ba ka, BFI? So, can we get a copy of that protest? Wala ba kayo? Okay. Bilisan nyo. You have your position paper. Okay. So, ang solution na to should be sent tomorrow. Communication tomorrow. Then to receive, let them receive the. Pwede so personal, no personal man.
Okay. Honorable
So,
Bautista.
Mr. Chair, so since no more matters to be discussed, so I move for its adjournment.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Bautista for the adjournment of our 29th regular session, seconded by Honorable Galinero. So our regular session is hereby adjourned at exactly 2:20 in the afternoon. Thank you.